Ladies and gentlemen, the light is on, and we are here for another episode of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. But before we start the show, we will be remiss not to do the honor and show our respects to the fallen patriarchs of the wrestling dynasty in Sika Anoa'i. So join us in the traditional way to salute fallen wrestlers. This image salute.
Houston, we have a problem.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Bro, I'm once again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the real Dwayne Allen will be here. But welcome everybody to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. I am your host, Brian H. Waters, and of course, I'm joined by my brothers. First up, he is the producer of Championship Culture. He is the gump of all gumps. He is one of the biggest Oriole fans we know, brother Hugh as the third. And then we got the host who tells you that every single belt has a story, the one and only, the guy, Mr. Custom Guy, Brandon Guy. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You know, sometimes little technical difficulties happen, but you know, we went to school for this. We know what we're doing. So, you know, we got the one and only, the real Dwayne Allen.
I know I'm sexy.
Who still might be frozen.
That's all right. It's all good, you know. Ain't nothing.
All right.
No, here we go. You there?
I don't. I can't even tell if you guys can hear me or not.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Feel like WrestleMania 11 round here.
Shout out to Booger for the great introduction.
Don't you ever.
And he's gone. You didn't introduce yourself, Hollywood.
Nah,
I just did it.
No, that's why I tried to divert the conversation. Hollywood, you didn't introduce yourself. Who are you?
I did. I started off. Told everybody who I was.
Did I miss it? Was I frozen? Was I frozen?
It's okay, bro.
It might be.
I might have been frozen.
Can you all hear me? Because this is this is the third week in a row. I got to start doing my show from a different location because this ain't it.
Nice shirt, and you are the GOAT, brother.
Absolutely.
Fit you well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
can you all hear me? He had a LeBron James shirt on, but he didn't look like he in the mood because the production ain't acting right. So I ain't gonna mess with him.
Right.
I can't tell if this is working or not.
Yeah,
blink if you can. Blink when you're just if you feel like you're frozen. Just do like this.
I don't know. I can't even tell if you guys can't even hear me half the time. It's okay though. But are we clear? Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We have a thumbs up. All right. It seems like we've already gotten to the introduction. So let's just jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually this is the part of the show at this point after everything's already gone through as far as logistics are concerned. But guess what? We're going to do just a little bit of advertising anyway. So once again, If you want to shop with the Wrestling Realm, head over to the WrestlingRealm.com and shop all of our merchandise, hoodies, mugs, and more. Did we do this already?
Nope.
No.
Okay, we'll just keep going into it. Patreon channel. Yes, for all our patrons, the people that want all exclusive shows and bonus materials, please head up to patreon.com/the_wrestling_realm. Please work with me because I'm irritated. So my tone is a little off, but it's okay though. But if you're going to advertise with the Wrestling Realm, please contact us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com. It is the summer season and so much is coming up. But luckily for you, the Wrestling Realm is here to save you just a few dollars. So use our promo code Wrestling Realm at SeatGeek.com to save yourself $50 or more. $20 on tickets of purchases anytime, any $50 or more. This is confusing looking at it. Sorry, save $20 all your tickets, any purchases, one-time purchase of $50 or more using promo code Wrestling Realm. That is at SeatGeek.com. All right, now we got that out the way. Well, we're gonna jump. You said what?
Shout out to P. She said she's gonna use the code to get some Liberty tickets because she loves Ellie.
Shoot, yeah. Just listen. The WMA tickets are going really hot. Like I said, Wizards tickets are going really hot. There's so much going on this week, but it's something that goes on every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on YouTube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Every belt indeed has a story, but if you're not familiar with why that is, we are here to tell you because championship culture, the latest brand added to the Wrestling Realm, taking the IWC by storm, headed by Brandon the Guy, super producer, Brother Hugh has the third in the buildings every Tuesday, 8 p.m. If you want to get educated on anything in the world of professional wrestling championships, this is the place where you want to be. So that being said, Brother Brandon, Brother Hugh, what was this week's show about?
What did we talk about, Brother Brandon?
I can't remember. What did we? I don't remember. What did we talk about?
We talked about.
It's been so many episodes. I don't know which one. What did we talk about? I don't remember.
Oh, there it is.
Remember? Oh, there
it
we
is
go.
right there.
The most prestigious championship in WWE. So oftentimes, we talked about on a show called Big Gold versus the World, where the Good Brothers joined us, and a couple other Good Brothers joined, and it was a comment made that a certain belt was the most prestigious in WWE, as we talked about Big Gold versus the World. So of course we had to go in that conversation, and we had to do a little digging for it, right? And we were joined by none other than, if anybody can hear this, because I didn't set up the speaker, I didn't want to blow everybody's eardrums. The founder himself, Mr. Marcus Hernandez, to help gear this conversation, right? And I can't wait for the notes because you might have seen what my answer was, but he defended a certain thing, and even Hollywood disagreed about the spinner being the most prestigious. But we talked about which belt was the most prestigious championship, not limited to, but the conversation was focused around the world title.
No, it's like heavyweight, actually.
Well, somebody said 24/7, but we're gonna leave that, let that rest. Like the 24/7 title is resting, but what else was it here? Did I forget anything?
No, forgot about that, right?
Oh, okay. Look how prestigious that looks. Look at that belt. I don't know if Realness sees it. I know he hates the purple strap. I know he doesn't like.
Is that purple?
No. I know you hate the purple strap
because I looked at it.
But I think Hollywood knows exactly which belt that is. The first belt ever in my collection, signed by none other than the greatest WWF/WWE Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho.
The learning tree.
No, I said WWE/WWF. I didn't say anything about.
It doesn't matter. He's the learning tree now. So
listen, I'm talking about Y2J, as it says on the belt. But that's all I'll say. That was my answer for what belt was most prestigious. Because without that, I don't think we were having these conversations that we're having today. I don't think we would have some of the legends that we have today. If it wasn't for that lineage of that title and the matches that it produced, the superstars that's been produced from that belt, I don't think we'd be having the conversation we have today. So now this is the point of the show where we all sit back and we get excited because And I'm just gonna ask the realness, kid. Hollywood, I was really shocked. You being a John Cena fan that you didn't agree.
Wow.
Now I know your taste in belts. I don't think I've ever heard your explanation about the spinner.
It served its purpose, but the most prestigious, no, not at all. Now I respect Marcus to the highest degree.
Mhm.
I loved Marcus. I love his content, but no, it was a ticket grab. I mean, a money grab. Yeah, it's a beautiful title as I look at it,
It's not that
but
beautiful.
prestigious? No.
Thank you for clarifying that. I know he's in the comments, and I know he hears this. But that's all I wanted. I just wanted to hear his take on that, because when I saw you repost that, I said, Marcus, it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow that you didn't put that out in the universe.
I'm just here for the notes.
Yeah, and that's what we all here for. Look, we all here for
Funny
the
part
notes.
is, I want to hear what Brother Hugh had to say. I was like, wait a minute.
Hey,
Hugh,
man.
what's your 2 cents on the matter, sir?
Well, as far as the spinner,
No, as far as the most prestigious
most prestigious.
championship. Yeah.
Brandon kind of swayed me a little bit with the IC title.
Can you talk about it? Because the people need to understand and know what championship culture is about. And sometimes there are these conversations. So what were you thinking before? And what did Brother Brandon sway you about? And trust me, I've got notes.
So before you answer,
Well,
this was set up in season 1 when Hollywood and myself had a discussion about Big Eagle versus Wing Eagle, right? Then in season 2, we did Big Gold versus the World, because it always comes down to the Big Gold. So this conversation was led by the Big Eagle and the Wing Eagle, which one was more prestigious. But then we get to the point where this is where the guy starts to change people's mind and get them thinking differently. So go ahead, you hit them with your thought process.
I know what I was going to say is, when you think about the most prestigious championship, first of all, you always think about the heavyweight title in any company. But I remember as a kid, just going back from my personal experience, me paying attention more to the mid-card title, the IC, and then also like in WCW, the cruiserweights and the US title. And they were always, I like those more than the actual heavyweight titles, to be honest. Like I enjoyed those storylines and whatnot a little bit more. So going back and just listening to what Brandon and how he broke it down as far as the IC title and how it's a workhorse title, it kind of makes sense to me that it would be the most prestigious as far as just the lineage of it.
Sure.
But it's hard, man. It's hard. But the Winged Eagle and the Big Eagle, it's still the heavyweight championship. It's the top title of your industry, of your business. So it's kind of like by default, it is going to be the most prestigious championship because it is the top prize of your business. So
now, Dwayne, before you give your notes, can I ask you a question?
By all means, yes, sir.
So let's take the fact of what you said. World champions, right?
Yes.
They've been world champions, whether it's WWE, Big Gold Champion, whatever, they world champions. We're going to put them all in the same category. Why is that after they hit the mountain peak of that title, they go seek the Intercontinental title? They always go after it. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the title that eluded them. That's the title that they go after. And it's never feel like a consolation prize for people who have made it to the top. It always feels like that's the moment that they needed. That was, whether it be a storyline going after it, and I'm going to just use the example that we can use now. Sheamus. He's had WWE Championship, World Titles, US, King of the Ring. He's, I think he won the Royal Rumble, right, Hollywood? He's won the Rumble, right? So, but yet he still wants to go after that. Not, I want another WWE Championship run. Not, I want an WWE Undisputed Universal Championship run. Not, I want I want that Intercontinental title. And we've seen through history where these people always go back to that title. So,
well, first of all, I don't like your tone. You're going to have to calm that down. But
you like my Brandon's barbecue tone? That's the Brandon's barbecue tone.
The barbecue? Okay.
I forgot about that segment.
Right.
We got to find a way to bring that one back.
As far as Sheamus is looking for the IC title to complete the Grand Slam. That's it. That's all. I mean, that's the example that you use. So let's be real. He don't care about the IC title. If he had it already, I mean, like, no, he that's the only reason he cares about it. Is because it completes his Grand Slam.
Ooh,
that's it.
So it's not really out of necessity. It's more out of
yeah.
legacy building. So it's a second reason as to going after the championship, not the main reason.
Yes.
But to build a legacy.
Okay. Championship culture sauce. Just
you see that, right? You see that, right? He's got to build his legacy. It's always going to be that. Oh, I didn't get the Intercontinental title.
Well, look, I didn't disagree with you all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the lineage is very prestigious, and like I said, it's the workhorse title, and to me, it means the most. To me, out of all of the titles in WWE,
in an unnatural allegiance,
I don't know about
not like you.
No, I ain't
got. So that's all. I'm gonna go back to you on this because this is the part of the show we look forward to. The notes.
No, it's cool. We got to stir the pot a little bit. Start off with some technical difficulties. Quite annoyed, but that's okay though. I'm gonna press through it. Can I read a definition? Can I read a definition before I read the notes?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
First of all, let me properly announce this correctly, because every week after championship culture, whether I'm on a show or not, I've got notes. Brace yourself, Brian H.
We love it. Here it comes.
Thank you for the intro music.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I shall proceed.
Are you ready here?
You guys ready? Okay, here we go. Can I read something to you, brothers? If you don't mind.
Yes.
Story time of the realness.
We got some music for that? Because this seems like this is
this is about to get good.
I'm gonna read a definition.
Mm-hmm.
And the definition is of prestige. It says prestige refers to a widespread respect, admiration felt for someone or something based on a perception of their achievements, qualities, or status. It is often associated with high standing or influence within a particular field or society as a whole. Prestige can be built through accomplishments, reputation, and the recognition of others.
Speak, brother. Speak.
Straight from Webster's. From Webster's.
I don't have much notes. It's like quality over quantity. And I make my rebuttal. I heard what everybody had to say. Everybody's got very legitimate arguments. But here's what I firmly believe, and I stand on this. Championship culture notes. 6/25/24. The Big Eagle is the most prestigious WWE championship in the history of the WWE. Why? I'll tell you why. I'm glad you asked. The Big Eagle was the championship that was held during the most successful period in WWE history. Look at that beauty. If you talk about when was wrestling's most popular time, with the exception of right now, as far as numbers was concerned, 90s.
The Attitude Era.
Era. Who held that championship during that time period where this championship was the most prized possession? Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. You can stop right there. You don't got to do Mick Foley. You don't got to do Triple H. You don't got to do the Undertaker.
Okay. I'd throw Triple H in there, but I got you.
I definitely would throw Triple H in there.
I was saying you got to put Triple H in the conversation.
Just because he had a lengthy reign
of
period.
There was a 1, and then there was a 2, and then everybody else just fell in line, right?
That is true.
1 and 1A.
There you go. What other promotion in the history of professional wrestling created 2 box office draws that constantly broke records within the same period in which both active wrestlers were with each other, and most likely, and a lot of times, in these matches?
Nobody.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are arguably 2 of the most successful professional wrestlers on every spectrum to ever do it. And at its peak of his popularity, during a pre-digital age, they held World Wrestling Federation Big Eagle Championship. The Big Eagle Championship was the first WWF title to receive a replica. the Big Eagle Championship was the first championship title that was re-released as a toy since in the stores. In the stores. This is because previously the toy belts, the championship belts, you had to order them by catalog or you had to get them at the shows.
Facts.
The Big Eagle was the championship that everybody coveted, that everybody looked for, that everybody felt like they needed to have their hands on to consider themselves a part of, at that time, almost 40 to 50 years of wrestling history attached to it.
With the paint that came off.
Exactly. At the peak of its of what that championship meant to the World Wrestling Federation, and I specifically say the World Wrestling Federation is because it was something different. This was the last championship that fully represented the World Wrestling Federation before the actual change from Titan Sports to World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated. Therefore, good brothers, as I wrap this story up, I say that the championship over Brother Brandon's shoulders, the Big Eagle, the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship, is the most prestigious WWE championship of all time. Thank you. Come on now.
I mean,
Your
reason, yeah.
Hogan didn't hold it, so
Brother
Hogan's
Brandon,
the best of all time. So
brother Brandon is fighting so hard to admit that he knows that I'm telling the truth. He's sitting like, dang it.
No, I'm gonna throw a curveball in there. I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna throw a curveball in. Your reason, I can agree with 99%.
What's the 1%? That's what the world needs to know.
How did we get Rock and Austin? Because of the IC title. That was there.
With that. I don't agree with that.
And I'm gonna give you this caveat. When was remember how much stuff they did around that belt that then translated to this belt, right? What's one of the moments that you remember with them two battling for the belt, and then it went to Rock and Triple H because Austin went up the card, right?
Okay.
But then guess what?
He definitely stood over River.
Yeah,
he said, "Here, I don't want this no more."
Can I ask you a question, Brother Brandon? Can I challenge you? You ready?
Absolutely, yes.
Was it because of the Intercontinental Championship, or was it because of Rock and Austin? I'm asking you this because of the simple question. You tell me your favorite bout for the Intercontinental Championship between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's enough. You can't think of anything. Now you tell me your favorite bout between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship.
You know that's not fair. You know why that's not
popped in your head.
Why that's not fair.
Tell me why that's not fair.
I've said what my favorite match was because of the cheer shots. I've said that, and remember, I have been because of the cheer shots. Okay. Remember at WrestleMania, the cheer shot mania, because he gave him like 17 cheer shots in a row. Remember what I'm saying? But to be fair, it's more than one example for the IC. And remember, to be fair, my favorite IC match, I have been very vocal about. Because do I have one about Rock and Austin? No, I don't. Outside of that ladder match with Triple H and Rock, I have other ones that I always gravitate to. I just remember that these two were feuding. Austin went up. Triple H and Rock were feuding. Rock came up. Triple H came up because people were going across the street.
I have one more challenge for you, sir.
Okay.
And this is directly towards the Intercontinental Championship versus the WWF, specifically Big Eagle World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
One major difference. You ready, Brother Hugh? There's one major difference. There's one thing that the WWF World Heavyweight Championship can say happened versus something that happened to the WWF WWE Intercontinental Championship. You ready?
Yes.
We talk about prestige. Prestige never goes away. How prestigious can a title be if it merges with another title and it goes away? Oh, the WWF World Heavyweight Championship has absorbed every other championship in professional wrestling that has existed since its inception. And the WWF Intercontinental Championship at one point went away. Peaks and valleys.
But so that, no, to what you said, that's happened twice now with the WWE Championship.
Well, is it? But see, The problem.
I'm sorry,
you know,
three
the,
times. 3 times.
You know the issue with that is. It's only happened. It's never happened with the WWE because the WWE championship competed with another championship on its level. That's why you had a whole nother show called Big Eagle versus the World. I mean, Big Gold versus the World. They were
know what
literally
I'm saying?
they were
But
literally
they
just
combined it
there.
3
You said
times.
who?
This and the WWE championship became the undisputed championship. Then remember when Randy Orton won the Big Gold and the WWE championship because they split it back apart, right?
Mhm.
And then it became they were messing with the name, so we can scratch that or we can add that. But then look what Roman did: the WWE undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. It's been
But-
combined, so your argument has holes in it. 3 times.
No, what you did was you started a different argument. This is good. You guys ready? It's
Mhm.
because you said when the WWF championship merged with the WCW championship, it became the WWE Undisputed Championship. I never said the WWE Undisputed Championship was the most prestigious because of literally for the exact point that you just made. I agree with you 1,000%, but I'm not talking about that championship. I'm talking about that championship that made your guy. Chris Jericho beat The Rock. He beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. He beat the 2 guys that held that championship. He carried those 2 championships until the merger because guess what? Not only did the WWF World Heavyweight Championship go away, wrestling's popularity would eventually go away. So when you left the WWF era, what we know as the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars era, we entered into the WWE, which was a down period. So
They tried
I
the
agree-
ruthless aggression.
I agree with what you said, but I'm simply just talking about the WWF World Heavyweight Championship and its legacy in comparison to a championship that eventually went away. That's all I'm saying. Huh? I get what you said is absolutely true, but I never said the WWE Undisputed championship was prestigious. No. Because that was an awkward period. That was an awkward period. But that WWF Winged Eagle, I mean the Big Eagle, and during the Attitude Era, it held a history. It held a time period. It held a legacy all on its own. And don't get me wrong, that legacy did go away when the business changed, but that's not the championship's fault. That's just because the business changed. That's a different conversation for a different show. But the WWF Big Eagle, in comparison to a championship that eventually went away, they had to bring it back. They had to resurrect it. Yes, it evolved. Yes, it got back. But once again, we're talking peaks and valley. Not once did that WWF World Heavyweight Championship ever have a peak or a valley. That particular championship, just that one, it was always hot until it wasn't there anymore. So from start to its finish, it started with Stone Cold Steve Austin and it ended with Triple H. If you want to go, if you want to go a step before,
Technically,
say,
technically, because
you feel me?
he had
Like
the
I said,
undisputed title was awarded. He was awarded the undisputed championship.
So, like I said, and if you want to go a step ahead, it was that championship made another star. It made one more star before the Attitude Era ended, and that was Chris Jericho.
Kurt Angle.
Well, no, I'm talking about the last superstar.
Oh, okay. You talking about the last one? Oh, okay,
Like,
I got what you're saying.
That championship, I got to make one more star. And what's the iconic picture of Chris Jericho that we always see?
Holding both
one
belts.
championship on one hand that you did a whole show about. It has another championship on the other hand that you did a show about. And then we talk about his Intercontinental Championship. Look at that photo. Come on now. That right there is a defining moment.
That's Y2J, everybody. Not the learning tree. That's Y2J.
And what you can tell by his weight. And what championship and what championship is on both those shoulders? Like I said, you did a show about one legacy, you did another show about another, and it wasn't the Intercontinental Championship. Huh? Ladies and gentlemen, we just gave you a dose with championship culture. You can get this type of flavor every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on youtube.com/the wrestling room. Playlist championship culture, as Brother Brandon has to deal with that because now he's like, dang it, that's right. So listen,
It's
Marcus,
all about the eagle,
time on
baby.
the show.
Oh,
Listen,
it
he
hurts. Look at his face.
Marcus got to press those buttons, man. You got to make people think. So on that note, here we go.
I made Marcus and he think last night. They both was like, I broke Marcus at one point. Marcus was like,
Yeah, he broke mine.
I was
We
shocked
thought he
when
was
you
frozen.
said he swayed. That's why I was like, wait a minute, I got to hear this.
Mm.
So there it is. That's right. Now listen. Now you do yourself a favor and you hold that championship right over your shoulder for the rest of the night, Stephanie Hardy style. Just leave it there.
Hey.
And we spent 30 minutes.
No, she had her
this.
hand. She had her hand out. Remember? That's
definitely
I'm cheating right now.
No, it's okay. No, she's one of a kind. So shout out to you, Stephanie Hardy. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, once again, every Tuesday, 8 p.m., youtube.com/wrestling. You really just got a dose of like that was a mini episode in one. But I'm glad we got a chance.
That was one of those realness reacts. We got to clip that off for realness
I'm
reacts.
just saying. The only reason I jumped in is because I heard what Brian H had to say, and I heard Brother Hughes. I said, "Wait a minute, I gotta see if I can sway this conversation." But once again, if I can't be a part of the show, I'm always going to have notes. What is it? It's a head. You gotta wear a chef's hat. Will you? listen. Is it? So who is this? Is this Marcus talking right now?
That's Marcus right there.
That's Marcus. Yeah.
Marcus, brother, I appreciate it because Shawn Michaels wears chef's hat too, man. And
that's
listen,
Hughes' favorite.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just leave it this. Oh, what you said is all good and cute and fine. That's right. but let's not forget.
Mm-hmm.
There's no this without this. That winged eagle.
He's holding on, fellas, isn't he?
he holding on worse than me. You see, I kind of was like,
all I would say is nobody. They never had a Big Show hold it.
Right.
It was always top elite level people. They never
Don't try to.
You say you ain't have a Big Show holder. Oh,
yeah, because at the end of the day, you're not.
But you had to say it vicious.
I'm just saying that.
You had to say it.
So he was a top guy.
Well, he
Main
was
event
at
of
the time.
WrestleMania.
He had me convinced that he was going to beat Shawn Michaels. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, Shawn put him over. He ain't put nobody over. He lost his smile when it was time to put people over. But
there you go. You making it personal now. You making it personal. You're making it personal. You hear what he said?
The facts.
Okay.
But
I can't say nothing because they are facts. I can't say anything about it.
Yeah, that was the belt that Hogan had to usher into new heights. Yeah, it was the Andre, the one, but that was the one that was established. That was the first, like you said. I mean, it was a toy, but you had to order it. But I love the argument because I love both belts equally. You're not.
And this is the same way. Like you and I have the same problem, Brian H. But
we literally had to flip a coin for the night before graduation on which belt we
definitely did. We did. We've literally that was the we could decide because we both looking at each other like this. Huh? Yeah. And and there was no loser. You feel me? It's like either way. But I charge you with this, Brian H. When it comes to the prestige of the winged eagle versus the big eagle, we're going to save that for another episode of Championship Culture and a later season to come, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to hear that argument,
I said like you penciled it in for season 3. Is that what you're doing?
It might be a bonus episode.
How many shows do you have for season 3? We ain't figured that out, did we? I mean,
so far,
because you had 5 for season 2 and a bonus. We're going to say and a bonus.
I'm about to play agent, because we're going to get Dwayne that Stephen A. Smith contract.
Listen to me.
Discuss that season 3 episode. So.
I just want people to think. And if you think, I've done my job. If I can get you to go, that's actually not a bad point. It's just something to think about.
I purposely held on to that information. I hinted it at Hugh what I was going to do. And he's like, "Oh, you going to run with that?" I said, "Yep. Watch what I do."
That's exactly. Yeah.
I think we all agree. Sorry, Marcus. But it is.
We get to the point where it's like we might have to do it. Like I feel like this is just my opinion. Like I'm like it might need to be a part 2 for that winged eagle versus big eagle conversation because it's just like when I don't mean to keep talking about this, but I got to. Sorry. When I watch, it's certain you guys know, like as wrestling fans, we have these moments, right? Mm-hmm. When you smell a shirt, when you're inside of an arena, when you hear certain things, bro. When I hear the ring of the new generation, my ears perk up. You know what I mean? It's like I was like, have you ever seen a dog when the dog hears a certain sound, like they immediately like. I love that era so much. Like I'll be sitting there and be like, you act like you haven't seen this before, and I'm like, bro, I can't. It's just something that kind of gets to me, and it's just like
which generation?
New gen.
Oh, when they do that the revolutionary force.
No, just when I hear somebody bouncing off the ring, because the ring sounded like when you're listening.
Oh,
if you
yes.
close your eyes, wrestling fans, if you close your eyes and you watch wrestling, you know what era you're watching. That's how deep this is for us.
That's crazy. But yes,
you feel me?
That's insane because you definitely hear it.
That is true.
Floor model TVs.
Exactly. Like, you kidding me? Like, think about it.
That base in the ring. Yep, I know exactly.
Bro, I challenge. And the crazy part is, I never said it. We've never had this conversation before. But the fact that, but I made it very clear. Y'all both was like, everybody was like, oh no, that's dead. Close your eyes right now and put on wrestling, and it don't matter what area, you know what area you're listening to. That winged eagle, man, is such, that new generation era was such a special era. But this is what I meant to tell you about this, Brian, and we'll move on because we got a crazy thing to talk about, and it's cool because we killed the first 35 minutes about this, so this is okay. So listen, Brian H., you said that first thing you always say about that winged eagle is this is the belt that Hogan ushered in.
That Thunder Lips had, yeah.
Can you believe that Thunder Lips, that Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan? Can you believe that his championship, that his legacy is bigger than the WWF championship? I have never heard a wrestling fan talk about or refer to a championship belt that represented by Hulk Hogan. I've never heard anybody say about that. It's because all you heard was Hulkamania, Hulkamania, Hulkamania. You hear about his colors, then this is the Hulk Hogan
You
belt.
hear about the Hogan 86 because it had his picture in it. That's the only time they say
right. And how long did he have that belt?
Like 2 minutes.
That long at all, right? Yeah.
You never hear anybody talk about Hogan. All you hear about this is the thing about it. We look at that championship across Brother Brandon shoulder, and what do we say? Attitude Era belt, Rock Austin, Austin Rock, and then then get in line. Whoever else came behind him, right? You look at that winged eagle. I don't know about you guys. First thing that comes to mind: Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Diesel. You feel me? And then like, once again, add whoever you want to, Undertaker. You feel me? And then whoever in between. Then you want to keep going down, Macho, Hogan, whatever. You never look at a championship and go, "Oh, that's the belt that Hogan made." You know, you do that is when you see that big gold spray with NWO spray paint.
But you don't even associate him; you associate the NWO.
Exactly, though. See, and that's the whole point. That's the closest you get to it, and it's not even fully that. It's just that. It's just the NWO. So I say, man, listen. The reasons why you find it prestigious, I don't disagree with you. I don't know, man.
That way. Oh, okay.
Like I said. Like I said, I just wanted to I had to make up for the technical difficulties that didn't. You said what?
He was ready to sing love songs to the belts.
He do it every night before he go to bed. Don't let him fool you.
They laying on the bed right now.
The next one we got to compare is the next legacy we got to compare, Brother Brandon, is Brian H's silver ECW championship to the original ECW championship. And let's see. Let's go. Brian H is
that'll be a 10-minute show.
His bastard belt, the ECW Big Silver Championship that he does not claim, but I know for a fact because I was there. That was his first championship belt that he's had outside of the one that his uncle gave him when he was a kid that he did ladder matches in his basement with. So I can confirm that officially.
That is the Brian H. Waters belt.
Yeah,
I was watching the ECW A&A.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we got to get to that. Bro, hold it. Let's jump right in. Let's hold it. Let's jump right into it. Every week, ladies and gentlemen, we do a segment called What Did You Watch? We're going to talk about that right now. Sponsored by nobody just yet, but that can be you. Email us at restroom@gmail.com.
That was so smooth.
What did you watch? Go ahead, Brian. And you were just talking about you was watching the ECW A&E special.
I mean, I would have rather not have wasted it because I think I come to the conclusion they only have one mega star.
Who was that?
And who's that mega star?
RVD. The rest of them could kick rocks.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh.
They had a lot of characters.
Oh, wait. It sounds like Brother Brandon is on your side.
Mm-hmm. I've always said about ECW.
Brother Hugh's face.
Exactly.
He said. So wait, Brother Hugh, do you agree?
As far as a megastar, is that what you said? That's the term
he said. Only one megastar, because he might be right, but I'm not sure yet. We about to find out.
100% right.
I think there's another set.
He might be.
Okay, all right, Brian. Let's continue. I just want to make sure we're on the same page before we break all this down. No pun intended. See, now we about to do an impromptu break it down with Brian H. We're just giving everybody a taste of all the Wrestling Rum content tonight. So shout out to all the technical difficulties because now we cooking before we get into tonight's main event. Brian H, go ahead.
No, I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm sitting there like, if you take out all the ones that like went to WWE and never put them there, you've been fine. But you're also speaking to somebody who thinks the Dudley Boys personally thinks
that's what I was thinking.
But I'm gonna tell you about when he finished. I got something about that.
I think they're overrated. I think you could have had all of those epic ladder matches with just Edge and Christian and the Hardys. I think the Dudley Boys, did they have their role? Absolutely. Not crazy. But when you think about what they did for the rights of Terry Runnels, you could have kept running that back. When you think about when the Hardys finally won the tag titles again, when they were like popular, that was when they had, it was just in a match with Edge and Christian. So when I look at it, I'm like, there's a reason why it was only RVD who was WWE champion. Like, if ECW would have still like kind of like been around and enough to float, WWE would have easily said, "Oh yeah, we poaching him." The same way they was poaching, like they, was getting other people.
And I'm gonna say this about the Dudleys: they were not that big in ECW. They were a gimmick match person. We say the Dudleys because what they did in WWE. We always say because they held the ECW tag team title so many times. They were not like. Well, yeah, they were not like Harlem Heat, who made a name for themselves in WCW, that we knew that they were an established tag team. The Dudleys were a gimmick match, and because of what they did in WWE, we give them honor for ECW for being multi-time tag champ.
Brother Hugh, do you agree? Time out, because I think I have something to say, but this is I don't. Go ahead.
He's thinking that. He's thinking. Think about all the Dudleys matches. You wanted them to put somebody through a table.
No, listen to me.
In ECW.
I agree with you 1,000% because when you think about the Dudleys, I don't think there's too many people.
I don't think about anything about ECW
matches. You know what I mean? It is the gimmick, but at the same time, no. To you, Brian H., are we saying RVD was a megastar coming out of ECW, or was he a megastar because of what he did later, and we just knew him first from ECW? Because are we looking at the Dudleys the same way? Because think about it. I'll say this one as a fact. I go back and watch RVD's matches in ECW. I don't do that with the Dudley Boys. You feel me? So, in all fairness, but I'm asking you personally, do you think that he was a megastar coming out of ECW, or you just thought he was the megastar that just originated from ECW?
That's the point. I think he was the megastar that originally, because he had the it factor while he was there. And when I learned that he was never an ECW champion, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. He was kind of younger and was building. Yeah. Yep. But then when he came to when he was the person, when I saw him in the magazines, when I saw clips here and there where I could see him, I was like, I can't wait to see him WWE. So when he showed up, I was all in. And then WWE they just kept riding that momentum.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay. But not only did they ride the momentum, they let him still be himself.
That's true.
They let him still his ring gear, his whole Jean-Claude Van Damme's brother. Remember that was always the rumor in the magazine, especially he did this. He did the split-legged because that's what Jean-Claude was doing to keep the gimmick going. But even so, when he came in as such, that's RVD, 5-star force, get out the ring. Oh, look, that's RVD, 5-star force, get out the ring. And remember, he was one of the first people outside of Jeff Hardy that gave Brock Lesnar a challenge.
That's
next big thing. And then remember, when they had that whole one-night stand, it was built around him with his Money to Bank contract. And I do believe if it wasn't for the fanfare of RVD better win this title, he would not have been WWE champion. Because if those fans did not get RVD that night,
he was definitely a champion.
Philly would still be on fire to this day. They would still be burning Philly because they were serious about their champion becoming WWE champion. They're unsung hero. Okay. They're flag bearer. Sandman, cool. They just want to sing to his music and watch him drink beer. Sabu, cool. He's a
gimmicks, like you said. It was the gimmicks.
It was cool.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, Tommy Dreamer was the ultimate underdog that we got bored with.
Yeah.
Because it was over. It was so much every week. Oh, he lost the title.
The underdog, the ultimate underdog.
And look how it was born. Shane Douglas was NWA champion, which should have been the most prestigious thing for him. I don't want this title. I'm now the ECW champion. Dude, you just throwing away the lineage for something brand new, and you did nothing with it.
Cool, man. I don't know. I don't know what happened before the show started, but
but please, Brian H. Waters, you are 100% right. I'm so good. Thank you for that RVD comment. One of a kind. As he drinks his coffee.
I was just sitting there like, I'm good on it. I was watching it and I was like, because I watched RVD's A&E and I really enjoyed that. And then I watched the ECW. I'm like I heard it. I mean, obviously I seen the rise and fall ECW. First time I did, I fell asleep. But you know, and that's a good point by all pro sports are scripted. First of all, I love the name because I wholeheartedly agree with that statement that I do believe all pro sports are scripted. But the RVD is the only one that came out better in the invasion than when it entered. You can eventually book it. Oh hell no!
No, not Taz.
Taz is whack. If we could be honest, Taz is whack, and we saw that when he came to WWE and he got jobbed to Triple H. Taz is whack. He's overrated. He's crying about Jordan Grace. I get it. You want to protect his lineage, protect his trademark, but it's like, really, dude? Like, come on now. But
what's she doing? Wait a minute. What Jordan doing to his lineage? What
is that a line that he used that I didn't even know he was known for?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but did she? Okay.
And it was just
now
like,
he's trying to stay relevant.
So then the next thing, because we know Jordan Grace, brother Hugh knows for a fact she's a troll. So what did she do? And she said, "I love you. I'm sorry," or something like that. And then Shawn Michaels said, "I love you. I love you back," or something. So
is it like with Ric Flair and
go on her Twitter. She was like, I couldn't use names. Like, she wasn't trying to make money off the quote. Like,
she wasn't. She was just yeah.
But what did y'all watch? I don't want to be anti.
Go ahead, Hugh. What did you watch, Hugh? Because I'm interested to hear this.
I ain't watched anything.
Nothing.
He's still raising that eyebrow like he did in 6th grade.
No, I watched the Who Killed WCW. I caught up on that right before the show.
Oh, the 4th episode.
The 4th episode. Yep.
I gotta catch up on it. No, I still gotta catch up.
We can't talk about it then. We
can talk about 3 because we didn't talk about 3 last week.
No, that's good. I'm chill. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, that's fine.
You messed it up. You messed it up.
Oh,
it's fine.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations to Rhea Ripley.
What she did?
What she did?
Her and Buddy Matthews got married.
Oh, good for her. The perfect time for her to do it. It's perfect time while she's out.
Sorry, realness. They got married. They got married.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
They definitely did.
No,
I mean,
didn't.
she realized she had no chance with Dirty Dom no more because
there you go. Dirty Dom hurt her feelings, man. But that's a bunch of bull. I'm sorry. Did you brothers finish saying what you watched? Like I said, these technical difficulties are blowing me.
Well, I was trying to talk about Who Killed WCW, but someone didn't watch the last
4th episode. Yeah, I didn't watch the 4th
episode. Who do you think?
This guy.
Jeez. Okay, brother. Exactly. Ask the question. Why didn't you watch? Let's start there. Why didn't you? You usually ask, what did you watch? It's like, Brandon, why didn't you watch it?
I caught up.
I even put the episode in the chat so you can.
He made it quite convenient.
That's why I did it.
You did it today. If you would have did it yesterday, I probably would have did it.
You didn't do your homework.
I didn't. It's fine. But we're gonna just ignore what Marcus said. He said I'm 0-2 with Hollywood this week.
Yeah, you know what? Talking about some Taz.
That's because that's why he's a huge favorite. That's exactly why Marcus is Hugh's favorite.
It's okay.
Can you please, realness? Can you please admit that Martin is your favorite? Realness?
I'm not ready to do that just yet.
You're not ready yet?
I feel like I got to show up on this show first. Figure out, like, you know what? And then make a sound judgment, not just, I don't want to be.
Because he felt so left out. He said, "Well, if Brady Savin's your favorite, if Marcus is his, I guess I'm just Dwayne's favorite."
Like, I'm not sure yet. Let's see. Let's find out together.
I hope he's watching. He's gonna, Marcus is texting him right now.
But tonight's show, if those who don't know, we're going to be talking about the 2 hottest storylines in all of professional wrestling. I was going to say in WWE, they're taking WWE by storm, which is what we talked about. But god dang it, this is probably some of the hottest stuff we've seen in professional wrestling, and we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about it. But I gotta say something. You said what?
Go ahead. I had a TV 14 comment, or maybe TV MMA.
Well, hold on.
You started it, but it made me think of WWE.
I'm about to say something. I'm about to say something very family oriented, right?
Oh boy.
No, it's okay. It's like Brandon's he's going to be dying in this segment. So, like, we talk about what do we watch, and I went down a rabbit hole, a proverbial rabbit hole. You say, well, why?
You did. I think you did.
No, I didn't. It's not. It's Brandon's just trying to keep it together. So, my nephew calls me. I don't know, Saturday night. I think it was Saturday
night. Right Saturday before you supposed to go to bed and got an extra hour
But like
being up, talking this
at like 11, like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, man. And my nephew, I call him Jonathan Waters.
Here we go.
Tip off the old block. Jonathan Waters. I purposely called him that on purpose. You hear what I said? I purposely called him that on purpose. He gets on the phone, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm gonna make sure everything's okay, because Jonathan usually call me that late, but he's sitting there and he just looks so perturbed. He's trying to get stuff off. And I'm like, what's going on? And this young man, who's in high school now, proceeds to go in a full-blown Generation 2 wrestling room argument like Uncle Dwayne. I've made it very clear that my generation of professional wrestling is way more prestigious than the stuff that we're looking at now.
Here we go. Oh my gosh.
This is the child that I saw sitting in his father's lap, holding his steering wheel like he was driving, like 2.5 years old. And then got mad when his mama made him leave and go in the house, and he looking back like, where am I going? I'm trying to sit on my father's lap and sit in the driver's seat again. That's when I knew him. And he's calling me like, and I'm thinking he's going to say one or two things. He goes, no, now let me break this down. And an hour goes through, and he is breaking down point by point why he feel like his era is much better than his sister's era. Well, he considers her era right now. He said, my era of professional wrestling is way better. And let me tell you why. He proceeds to go on about mid-card stuff. And I'm listening to him, and I'm like, goodness gracious, this boy's a chip off the old block. I feel like I'm talking to his dad. And he's going in.
So what I heard you say was he about to be a special guest on the Wrestle Round party.
No.
In my mind, I was like, bro, this might be some like Wrestle Round Next Gen type stuff.
We might need that.
Brothers.
Brian, he's out of school for the summer.
He was going in. Like, he was like, no, and let me tell you why. He starts breaking down matches. He said the mid-card is boring. He said they were more exciting characters. And I was like, and I'm sitting there, and first of all, I'm astounded that how old is he now? Was he 15? 14 years old. He would turn 15. And he's breaking down matches. He's breaking down characters like The Miz and their body of work. And he had me sitting there going, well, wait a minute. Does he have a point? And he sent me down this ruthless aggression rabbit hole. And this child, like I said, I'm a proud uncle. And I was like, man, my nephew got me thinking twice. And I'm sitting there all week looking at stuff, trying to rewatch it and make sure, like, did I miss something? Because he's got me. And this is where I'm gonna end it. He had me thinking that Gunther might be born. He said he is born. And let me tell you why. Because the mid-card compared to, and I'm saying to myself, now we fresh off Dolph Ziggler conversations, we fresh off Kofi Kingston conversations, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, he might got a point. He made me second guess one of my favorite goddamn wrestlers. So that was what I had to say as far as, like I said, chip off the old block. I'm proud of him. I was like, wow.
And the reason the conversation started, because he said something crazy out of his mouth.
He definitely said something crazy out of his mouth.
I'm sitting there, I'm cooking, and I'm talking, and I said, so somehow or another it came up like top 3 luchadors. And I said, so who's your favorite? He goes,
y'all listening to this. This is a child talking. This is a child, okay? Like, he don't know enough about luchadors like we know, but he listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, he goes, Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, and I forgot the other one that was around that time.
He said
Mystico.
No, that's Sin Cara.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Who else?
Huh?
What did he say? He said El Torito, the little bull.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like,
stop.
What? I said, hold up. You just said, I said, now I done gave you, moving to Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, whoever. I said, you saw some of these wrestlers. And you gonna say him? I said, you got freaking Santos Escobar around right now. You got Dragon Lee right now. I said, hold on, let me call your uncle. I said, what you hear? And when he went into this whole thing about how great Sin Cara was and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, no, I need to call the cavalry for this one. So that's how.
But maybe he said that because that's what was appealing to him.
But
so it did is job.
It did its job. And he went in for a whole hour to put, because first of all, he was like, first thing he says, he goes, all right, hear me out. And I'm like, well, I'm listening. He's like, no, seriously, hear me out. And I see Brian is sneaking and giggling. He goes, top 3 luchadors. And I was immediately thinking cruiserweights. He said, no. I'm not saying cruiserweights. I'm saying luchadors. I'm like, all right, okay, let's do this. And he says, Rey Mysterio. And then he goes, Sin Cara. And we just start laughing. He's like, okay, there y'all go. Why y'all laughing at me? We like, I'm going from Rey Mysterio to Sin Cara. And then he proceeded to pretty much say, like, during his era, he wasn't exposed to what real lucha was compared to. We got it WCW. We got international wrestling at our front doors every Monday.
We did.
And during his era, he never experienced it. But that brother had a lot to say. He had a lot. I said, listen, I'm glad you was able to get this off your chest because I could tell this was getting to you. He was going in.
Now, mind you, AEW killed Edge for him. Like,
Edge is his favorite wrestler. He cried when he saw Edge. I don't mean put his business in the street. I know he's old now. I'm sorry. He cried when he saw Edge. I seen him put it. He cried when he saw Edge live. So this, I need people to understand this is how much Edge means to him. Go ahead, Brian Edge.
Yeah, I remember, so Mercedes comes, my daughter gets happy. She'll watch when Mercedes on. She go in another room as soon as she's off. WWE, she'll sit there and watch whoever. With him, I said, Edge is Adam Copeland. What? That's a stupid name. I said, that's a real name. Like, kids don't think.
Right.
He goes, no, I don't like it. I said, all right, so you're not gonna watch? No, I don't like it. I said, see, now you sound like your uncle. You sound like your Uncle Dwayne right now. He said, no,
it's just not the same.
Yeah. He remember he also, what did he say about LA Knight last year? He looked like the Brooklyn Brawlers.
He did say something along the lines of that. Yeah. What did he say?
I forgot what it was, but like he's been paying attention to this stuff since he was little, like the realness said.
I thought he was growing out of it. Clearly, I was wrong.
But clearly, something is connecting with him. So WWE wasn't wrong when they were targeting kids apparently because it left an impression.
And you
did his
absolutely
job.
right.
Yeah,
he did his job because think about it.
And I remember he
the
had
case.
a car mask, I was
gonna say, did you buy him a mask? I was gonna say it did his job. So it led to impression.
That the New Day with the unicorns, he had the AJ Styles gloves, the Roman punch. I told him, I said, that's your problem. I said, first of all, you mad Roman turned on you. I said, you think Gunther's boring. I said, but he's doing his job. You're not supposed to like him. But it's funny because I was like, all right, now you're starting to sound like you've been on the IWC, which I know you're not. Maybe TikTok, but I know you ain't on Twitter. But he's like, no, but this is. I'm like, okay. I was like, you've seen enough. That was fine then, but now you're supposed. That's like me still saying, braided British Bulldog is my favorite. I done seen enough since. I done seen enough to get out of the tassel era of the Texas Tornado. Like I can go back and see Kerry Von Erich, but it was a funny conversation watching him, especially comparing eras, like him selling her with her era.
Out of all people, the child. And it was going in on his sister's era. And when he attacked the mid card, wait a goddamn minute. He's like, now listen, now you know how we feel about mid card. Mid card, like, I didn't think he was, because once again, he was a kid. He was a fellow, young,
But I'm saying that's making me rethink it. Remember how silly we thought the blue light was for Sin Cara? Apparently, it wasn't for us. If he remembers Sin Cara, that tells you something.
And he felt like that was more exciting. And I'm saying to myself, well, god dang, hold on. You had to be about this. And I was like, shoot. He had me second guessing a lot, brother. I didn't think, he was a little, that's what I thought. He was a little fella.
Yeah.
So I just had to say that, brother. Listen, he sent me that. I didn't realize he was paying attention that much. I just think, I honestly thought he might have been growing out of it. Like he just casually watching it. But listen, we might got a Wrestle Room next gen show on our hands.
He's like y'all. He has room to balance that other stuff y'all watch and wrestling. I don't, so that's the thing.
You have to watch other things, Brian, besides wrestling.
Yeah, soap operas. You remember when we was playing Spider-Man when I first got the PS4? I ain't understand that. I said, hold on, call your uncle, because I don't know. He started asking me questions. Well, why is this person? I said, I don't know. This is why we have resources.
Because they don't have capes. Go ahead and say they don't have capes.
Exactly.
See,
it was the Amazing Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
because it was a lady on there, and I was like, "We beat the game, but I didn't understand it."
Oh my goodness! But yeah, like
the lady.
Was that made by Capcom?
Oh gosh,
nah, it was made by Midway.
See,
hey, I made a Mortal Kombat.
He thought I was being serious. Okay, but go ahead.
I had to let the world know that because I was so proud, but then I was so conflicted at the same time. Like I went to sleep like this, like, wait a minute, does he have a point? Because he's Gunther boy. I was like, oh man, like
you was having nightmares like Gunther can't be born. I remember him as Walter.
That's
He was
exactly what it
Walter.
was. I
He
was
was
going on my
Walter.
head, brother Brendan. Like, no, that's not possible because he did this. But I'm like, wait a minute.
Maybe
but
he'll
Jones
like
is right.
skinny Walter. Maybe he
It's
don't
like
know about
that.
fat Walter.
He
Who-
probably up
who
here
is he?
thinking about other women. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm sitting on my side like,
To me.
wait a minute. But who is Hunter really faced? What is it? Oh, man, I
Wow.
got this. Listen to me. I'm happy. I'm proud of him. But I am sure
The
that
dynamic of children, because you still got. On the other hand, your niece still has not forgiven Seth Rollins. She
no,
still
she's not over
has
it.
not
And
forgiven
she's a
for
girl,
invading
so
the
I'm not
house.
bothering her. I'm gonna leave her alone
Still
about it.
Yeah, you gotta
hasn't
let that rock.
forgiven
No,
Becky Lynch.
yeah, she's not. Yeah,
I'm waiting for her to
but
turn on Liv, but she loved Liv.
yeah. See, girls are different, so they get a little bit more room. So I ain't fooling with her. I'm gonna let her do her thing, and when she's ready, sweetheart, you just let me know. But like I said before, and believe it or not, we're about to wrap this up. We got to talk about this, fellas. We were blown away by two of the most dynamic storylines in all of professional wrestling history. For us older guys, it's almost like a throwback to what made wrestling special for us. And at this age, at this point of it, and I say this age, not necessarily a number, but in how much we have watched and experienced in professional wrestling in our day. We've seen it from every angle. We've seen it on the independent scale. We've seen it at, on smaller, even in the independence, we've seen it at levels. We've seen it at small levels, mid levels, high levels, worked in some levels, you know what I mean? And then almost every major era of professional wrestling. And here we are now, right? So the Bloodline, it was something that changed the industry. It brought professional wrestling back. And now we find ourselves in the same space with the Wyatt Six. So much going on, so much to talk about. But let's just jump right into it. Brother Hugh said some things as soon as we were all watching, of course, watching Monday Night Raw. And first of all, we were watching SmackDown and Monday Night Raw because everybody wanted to know what the follow-up was going to be. And they did an excellent job of keeping our minds and our focus on the important things. So like SmackDown held it down with the Bloodline. And we'll get into that with Jacob Fatu and all that kind of stuff. But man, we're fresh off the situation with the Wyatt Six. Who wants to talk about what they're thinking, what they're feeling in regard to the Wyatt Six, and just what the WWE is doing with this whole storyline? Because we're watching it and we're saying, okay, great debut. It's always a great debut. How do you follow up? And Brother Hugh was going in heavy about it, and I was, and it was just like, I call it art coming to life.
Yeah,
and I've noticed some themes that they're continuing over from what Bray wanted to do, and to see where we are now, it's like, okay, this is going to be a big deal, and I'm excited for it. Brother, you want to talk about some of the things you were saying with the follow up we had with Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, and his interview with Taylor, with Bo Dallas. I don't even know what we're calling him. Like, I don't know what we're calling him in WWE at this point. Like, they never say his name. They don't mention him. We know who he is.
I was just blown away at the realism in it. Like, this was just a straight up. It seemed like a straight up shoot interview, like realistic interview. And he gave you his real emotions, his passion, and just his feelings about everything that's going on in his life right now, in regards to Bray Wyatt. It was shot perfectly. First of all, they had me tripping with the VHS. They're talking about playing and whatnot. They pulled out the VHS, but yeah, that's what got me. But then I started thinking, I was like, dang. Started thinking about the characters individually. I'm like, okay, all right, you have Dexter Lumis, you have Nikki Cross. This is really long-term storytelling. Like, was it supposed to happen this way? Well, I mean, minus Bray passing, of course. But was it really supposed to happen this way? Because everything is fitting. The puzzle pieces are fitting together perfectly. And everything is making sense to me right now. And I'm like, all right, so that's why you got Nikki Cross acting the way she was acting back in the day. Loomis, he was kind of eerie too. Joe Gacy, it was kind of like they were interviewing for those roles. And it just all worked out. And Bo was about to be one of the biggest stars out there right now. To be honest. That's it. That's all I got for you, man. He's about to be like enormous. Like, he might be bigger than Bray Wyatt when it's all said and done.
I think realness is frozen.
Yeah,
I think he's
I
frozen.
like that.
He is. Yeah, man.
You want to go next, Brian, or you want me to go?
You go.
All right, so I got a couple things about this. One, I applaud Triple H for stop treating us like we're stupid.
Facts.
We know under the previous era, they would have never even made the reference that Bo Dallas is Wyndham Rotunda's brother. He would have never let that come on screen outside of here's the salute because Bray passed away.
Yeah.
The fact that they went, I want to say, into the deep end automatically, and this is the first character, this is the first interview we get, we can see potentially 6 more weeks of just this type of stuff, because what if the next person is Ramblin' Rabbit interviewing Eric Rowan, talking about his perspective? What if this leads to each character being how Bray Wyatt was to the Fiend? What if we see Bo Dallas wrestle a match and then we see Uncle Howdy wrestle a match next week? Kind of like what Bray was doing. Remember that time he came back and was wrestling as just Bray Wyatt, but he brought the Fiend out most of the time for those matches, but we saw him go back to Bray Wyatt in the sweater. So I'm like, this will be cool if we get those type of interactions where it's kind of like you see Nikki Cross running around backstage, and then cinematically a change, and now is she technically Sister Abigail, or is she the witch? Which one is she? Is she Sister Abigail technically? But y'all get what I'm saying? Like, we see her kind of morph into that character to come to the ring. You know what I mean? This is going to give us so much storytelling. It's going to be insane. And I believe, and I hate to say this, we are 6 months away from them being on Netflix. They said it's going to be uncensored.
It's going to be crazy.
If it go to 2 hours, we could possibly see Netflix specials that's sitting around this type of cinematic things.
Like I was saying,
this type of thing with the whole Wyatt Sick6, this could be a miniseries. This could be a spinoff. All the things they try to do with the WWE Network to give us those extra programming, like they tried it with the cartoon Camp WWE. They tried to do a lot of those hit and miss things. This is going to be a hit, because imagine just seeing a 6-part miniseries about the Wyatt Sick6. How did we get here? To catch people up on things. What's the history of Bo Dallas? Who is Nikki Cross? You know, we could see these type of specials that lead to this and say, how did this dark transformation happen? How did she channel Sister Abigail into this? What is Alexa Bliss's theory on this? You know, all those things. Like, you think we didn't pay attention to that as Chad Gable was walking, magically a bus with Alexa Bliss faces in the background? Come on now, Triple H. We ain't stupid. I know you planting stuff, because I don't know about y'all. I can't even watch what's happening on TV because I'm too busy looking in the background. Like, what's going to happen? What's going on now? What is this? In this interview, I didn't think I was ready for it, but now I'm vested all over again. Like, all right, what you going to give us? Especially because on Friday, they mentioned it. We have extra security because of what the Wyatt Sick6 did. Even when the backstage interview said it, when they letting everybody know, no, this is a story through all parts of it. Even though that's happening on Raw, we got to be learning on SmackDown. So
I love how they took the older characters, and they're basically like the host for those for the puppets or whatnot that was in the front house. I love that part. It's not like you actually have Dexter Lumis. You know, he's literally, you know, Mercy the Buzzard or whatnot. That makes sense. It makes total sense. They're being taken over by the puppets. That's great. The way they do.
And imagine we have that he's Mercy the Buzzer is interviewing Dexter Lumis, and all Dexter Lumis is sitting there because he doesn't talk. Right. You're like, you don't want to tell me? How did you get like this? Why are you so mute?
And was I talking to you when you said something about how creative it is and whatnot? And I was just like, look, when I was watching it, I didn't even feel like I was watching wrestling.
No,
I felt like I was watching a regular movie. Yeah,
it felt like a TV show. Like you were vested. Like it was almost like not necessarily a preview, but a segment of a part of a movie. Yep. Like I was waiting for the next scene. Yep. And if they shot these vignettes like that, that could be the whole Netflix special. Like remember when Hollywood said, I don't know if you were getting your hair braided or something, and you said you put on the whole Bloodline story, and it was like an hour-long worth of how did we get here, and then she became invested at that moment, like, oh, I got to see what happened next.
Yep.
That is Netflix. That is literally a episode on Netflix for this.
I sit back and I watch this whole thing, and I'm not the biggest person when it comes to horror, right? I don't really watch a lot of horror films. But what I'll say is, because I love wrestling, I'm into this. But it's taking me, it's getting that fix. Like if I ever had like that missing element on my TV watching, I get it with all of this. And I'm not really concerned about like the graps of it yet. Because the storytelling, like I'm sitting there and I see them bring a tape. And I said, okay. No, I see up the box. And I love that it wasn't just, it's been like slow cooked throughout the show. All right. Now what's going to happen? All right. What's in the box? VHS. Well, what is this? And that's what makes this so good that, and I said, like, I'm so happy to take the kayfabe hat off. I'm so happy for Taylor Rotunda because, and it's so creepy because right here, when you look at this photo, this is the most I've ever seen him look like his brother. Like,
hey, it was so scary, bro.
Man,
like you could tell.
I was a little freaked out myself.
Yes,
Uncle Howdy looked like Bray.
Yeah, and I thought when he grew out his facial hair, I was like, yo, he look badass now, as opposed to the white meat. Believe,
You gotta believe.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and it's something that's the parallel with these stories. We'll talk about the Bloodline later, right? And then you can even go back to Bloodline 1.0. The parallel to all of this is the younger siblings, or the newer, the greener of them, was the ones who were like leading the charge, right? So you got Bray came into wrestling because he didn't make it into football, but Taylor was already in the wrestling. But then Bray became the bigger star first. Solo,
right.
He's basically leading all the people where 5 to 10 years ago, we knew who those people was, unless you were like diehard. No, you didn't even know who Sika Fatu was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Unless you were like very, very, very hardcore into it. Same with Roman. The Usos was there first. And so it's very interesting how all of that is happening. But now we're going to see Bo Dallas or Taylor Rotunda, Uncle Howdy. We'll see him become a bigger star. And like Brother Hugh said, I ain't even think about. He could be bigger than Bray. And I think that's what Bray will want.
Oh boy. Yeah. That sounds like him.
Man.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna tell you. You know the creepiest thing you said Brother Hugh, about
What's
your
that?
whole breakdown of what you saw.
What's that?
You said it's starting to make sense to you. I was like, wait a minute. It's starting to make sense. It's creepy because we never could figure out what the heck was going on with this whole situation.
Absolutely.
You like, oh, it's starting to make sense. I was like, oh boy, now we cook it with hot grease. And there's I like how the continuity of that character. It's almost like, now follow us, Brian H. When you think about traditional Asian fiction, right? Sometimes in these movies, there's always these like in Bruce Lee's story. Bruce Lee always talks about there was this demon in his family, right? And
right.
that demon was passed and mother, his father, and on to him. Like it's something that's been, it's something that's symbolic, right? And it seems like how haunted Bray. Bray is gone. It's like he's here to haunt Taylor. And Uncle Howdy has brought that same theme to Taylor that he brought to Bray, which was that duality. And I was like Bo Dallas Taylor is looking for himself, and Uncle Howdy is forcing Taylor to confront himself, what he feels, what he's going through. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And it's a crazy way to Bray's memory alive. I wasn't expecting to have a real conversation about the fact he passed away. I was like, wait a minute, are we going here? We adding this to the story? We putting this in? And I was nervous about that though. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, they actually going in with this. It's a situation of what's been going on. That whole thing of this person is split between themselves and how do we bring it out? And now you're going to transform into this monster because of that duality within you.
Yeah, it's crazy, but brilliant.
Yeah, so I was shocked. I was very thrilled. Can y'all still hear me? If I start breaking up, just say the word.
We got you.
Because I sound fine on my end, but like I'll be going in and they be like, bro, I can't hear you. But so yeah, but no, it's amazing to see where this goes. It's amazing to see how they follow up with it. How do you guys think? Where do you think this actually goes? Like how do we why do we have this interview? Right? Why do we interview Bo Dallas? Brother Brandon, tell us where do we go from here?
Introducing them. My bad, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think it's, if you look at the Triple H era, he's developing content for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he's developing content that people
True.
can absorb at different ways. Like, remember when the whole thing about the War Games, nobody from NXT was featured because some of those people aren't in WWE anymore. So they pushed the War Games heavy to be able to get their footage for the next year War Games, right? So now, this year, if we do War Games, guess what's going to be probably the marquee? Jey Uso on top of the cage when the lights was flashing before he started doing this, right? He's developing footage to keep this story going. Because let's say Jey Uso is still as big as he is right now in November at Survivor Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He could be the marquee for that because we have that footage now. In January, when we hit Netflix, they are a content provider. Yes, we're going to have weekly shows, but what are we going to do those other 6 days to fill in the gaps? Boom, here we go. Anything that we have been doing or anything that they've been producing, as in we being WWE, like I work for them, but it's because we're making this. I think that we're going to, they might not even get in the ring or do anything as far as wrestling. Because remember, The Fiend didn't wrestle for what, almost 3 months?
Right.
It was something crazy. We got all those vignettes on Raw, and we're like, what's going on with Bray? What is this? And we got glimpses of The Fiend. And then finally, when he wrestled, it was like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for. Was it a 10-star? Was it spectacular? We were vested because of all of these things. So now we got that out of the way that, no, this is real. He's going to get out the way about his brother. How did it feel when he died? Because that's what we as fans will be wondering, like, how's this man carrying on? And he answered those questions. So now I'm interested. Eric Rowan should be the next focal point. Why did you come back? You left.
Oh boy.
You weren't here when he was gone. You left us. You went over to that other place. It's real, right? Where were you when he passed? Why weren't you around? You weren't even there when your other friend died. You always let people down. Is that why you got that mallet? You never know. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're saying these real things, but they punch in the gut. There's like, we're going to be vested in it, like, oh, they just went there. Because when he asked him, how did it feel when your brother died? I'm like, I don't know if we're really thinking that. We're worrying about Bo Dallas. Are you okay? Like, how are you functioning without your brother? We know y'all were close. But for them to ask that question, it was like, oh.
Wasn't that was the first question, wasn't it?
And remember, they asked that in those vignettes too, remember? So to see it in the vignettes be mentioned, and then for them to dive in, I give Bo 100% credit for being able to go through that and be able to answer, and might even have formulated that question and said, no, let's come with it. I don't know. I just feel like we're going to get some more cinematic type stuff to build the library, but to build the story too.
I was blown away, like, by all means, by what you said. I was shocked. I was like, whoa, we just jumping right into this? He's not here anymore. He's like, whoa.
Like, wow, why would you go there? Like, who goes there? Who's that? Like, and that's why I said in the Vince era, this would never have happened. This would never. No. We would have got them debuted and then in a match next week and been squashed. Think about it. That's what it would happen. You break it up, bro.
But no.
Yeah.
Can you hear? How about now? Am I still breaking up?
A little bit, yeah.
Still breaking
up a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I was shocked. I was happy. I was excited. I was all over the place. And I'm looking forward to it each week. So we talked about it. And I remember, Brother Brandon, you had said in your text, you said, is this must-see TV for the WWE? And I was like, well, must see TV for who? You like think about it. From Monday to Friday, we're locked in, and I was like, well, god dang it, you got a point. It was because Friday, I'm checking to see what's going on with the Bloodline, and we'll get to them in a second. And every Monday, I'm like this. I'm glued to the TV. How hard is that to do in this era today, especially with the way we consume our media, the way we consume our television, right? We got everything at the click of a finger, at the press of a button. So it's like the fact that you found something in 2024 to pull old-fashioned wrestling fan to your TV to say, I got to see this. And
right now, I got to watch it live.
If miss it, I got to do it. Facts. Like, because I missed the debut live, and I was like, oh, that was exciting. I missed that. I said, I need to make sure that next time something jumps off, I'm there. You know what I mean?
And let me add this one last thing.
TV was.
Remember, not too long ago, even the wrestlers said, I don't watch the show. I catch the replay and the recaps. And remember, that's how we were like, if we missed Monday Night Raw SmackDown, we were like, oh, we'll just watch what somebody on YouTube said. Now, being here talking about it, I got to be on to watch SmackDown. I want to do this. I got to go watch SmackDown. I want to see this live. Oh, Raw, come on. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
Shit, I need to watch it. I need to watch everything after what they did on Pat McAfee show. You see what I'm saying? Like, you even got to tune in to his show now. So it's like you got to watch everything that's related to WWE.
And you want to be a part of the social conversations.
Absolutely.
That's the big thing. Like, you take it back 10 years ago, Scandal took the world by storm. It was in its prime, right? So every Thursday, Scandal ABC, number one trend, and this was like the last years of college into like real life. And it just, you had to be there. You know what I mean? And it's some shows that's that way. Last Dance during the pandemic was that way. WWE is doing, and when I said I was going to say my TV PG-14 comment, WWE sacked the nuts on the table and said, take this wrestling world. And either you with us or against us.
The grapefruits.
The grapefruits.
Ready for Netflix.
He practicing.
Look, TNA said, we coming on with the ride. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, what you doing?
Why not?
We can go with you.
Yeah.
We can get with you. Okay.
We can get on the bus. Well, shoot, we might get in the back. We'll sit there. We'll play. We'll sweep the floor. We'll do.
We don't mind.
Brother.
You're like, wait a minute.
We're going to take whatever you give us.
Yep.
We're going to take whatever you give us.
Can we carry your bags?
We in that conversation with you.
Exactly. Like it's a whole forbidden door. It's a forbidden door.
Yeah. This
weekend. Do anybody care?
We care more about what WWE is going to do next.
We care about
that's this weekend.
There you go.
Portal.
It's Sunday.
We don't care about this
Sunday.
forbidden door. Open up the prohibited portal. That's what we want to open. Because and then
the prohibited portal.
Yeah,
Hey.
Vince prohibited anything from being in his reality.
Look,
so he created his own universe.
Let's put his name in the box. Because at this point, he don't even deserve to be mentioned in these conversations no more. Because we went last year, we was eating steak, right?
Oh, here we go.
Man, we just added some lobster. We added some shrimp.
No. What we did was our table got cleaned. We left the restaurant and we got invited back to another meal.
No, but still, this the meal.
No. Say the analogy right. We were finished eating.
I don't
we
even
went
know
home.
where you go with that.
We went home and then we got invited back to the restaurant.
My point is, like, it's so much better. You know what I mean? It's so much better that, like, even saying, like, I don't even like to compare no more. It's like comparing ex-girlfriends. When you get a new good one, what's the point in bringing up the old one? That's what Vince McMahon has become. He don't even deserve because
after a while.
Thank you for what you're doing.
You see the eyebrows?
Hey.
I know Uncle Raj care about a steak. Shout out to Uncle Raj. I'm gonna give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah, he's a steak connoisseur.
I wouldn't have thought about it. I wouldn't even thought about Jimmy Seafood's steak. I would have been thinking about the crab cake, but then I tried to deny it. I was like, nah, it can't be all that. And then WrestleMania 34.
Listen to me. Best steak I've ever had, Jimmy Seafood. I stand on that. I'm not even a steak guy, so I'll say so far, but that's just what it was. But there's you deal with that on Mondays, and you got to figure out what's going on. But then on Fridays, we got a resurrection,
Yes.
right, of a storyline of
He said it best. A resurrection. There we go.
a
That's what we call
resurrection of a that we thought was done. We
Oh,
thought it was
yeah.
over with. And we knew there was going to be some follow-up. And then we saw Solo. We said, okay, that's cute. Solo's going to do his thing. It's about Solo now. You know, we're wrestling fans. We had to figure it out. Oh, yeah, it's about Solo now. And then the Gorillas of Destiny come in. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, Jacob Fatu shows up on a random SmackDown. They were like, wait a goddamn minute now. This man has lost 40 pounds and he's already dangerous and agile as ever. What is going on?
the Samoan werewolf.
The WWE just can't let the bloodline go. Go ahead.
Why should they?
Listen to me. How'd you guys feel about what Jacob Fatu? Brian H beat everybody to the punch. He did a whole episode of on breaking down Brian H. So if you go to YouTube.com, check it out. Broke
What was
the
I
internet.
doing?
It did great numbers, and I was like, okay,
It did.
he
It did.
hit the gas quick. But how'd you guys feel? Were you as shocked as I was when Jacob Fatu showed up and he was 40 pounds lighter?
I was shocked because they announced the match with Cody and Solo, right? And I was saying to myself, what's about to happen? Why are we doing this on SmackDown? And I'm like, okay, here we go. Something. And I was like, maybe Paul Heyman going to get, because he asked CM Punk to take him with him, which was hilarious. And he said a line earlier, and I told you this. Remember he said this line earlier. The Samoans and the Tongans are not people that you want to mess with. And I'm like, dang it,
No.
that Triple H does hit us earlier. Because it's literally a Samoan and two Tongans. But he said the Samoans and the Tongans are people that you don't want to mess with. I'm telling you, please leave. And when Jacob Fatu showed up, I said, first off, where's the rest of them? I was like, wait a minute. That man. First, thank God he put on shoes. He learned quick from Solo. I gotta put some shoes on.
He's got boots, yeah.
But and he just, how when Umaga appeared, we were like, oh, this is great. I had almost that same feeling.
Very intimidating
when he appeared, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is. I thought he was getting it after Mania when he said about him signing. I said they had to let that cool off and hit you now because this was a perfect, unexpected debut. We didn't get music. We got him coming in, destroying people. He ate that super kick. I was like, I was like, yep, Samoa Werewolf. And it was perfect.
Bro.
It was.
He looked like Haku when he did that. That's the crazy part. Haku used to do that.
Right.
I remember see that when he used to take a hit. He used to go
I remember.
He used to like get hit.
That was huge, man.
Thing,
that
and
was my man.
Oh, snap.
Like, that's what did I just do?
Like, at this point, I knew I effed up.
Yes.
I saw Haku and I kicked him. And at that point, I knew I effed up.
That is
It's like he tells me a story.
It was at that very moment. He knew.
Can we just stop?
I swung at him and he ate it.
Stop looking at what?
The dirt sheets, because people get mad.
They're leaking fake stuff on purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, they better not change Caesar. His name to Caesar Sokoa or what was the other Tala Tonga? All these stuff. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I
Those
swear
are
Triple H is
distractions.
doing it on purpose. You can't change Jacob Fatu's name because
He has to
everybody knows him. He went on record
He's
and said, no,
recognizable.
Roman's
Yeah.
my tribal chief. He literally acknowledged the
He
fact
was the
that
first-
the
he
WWE
first said that.
existed. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He
He
acknowledged
was.
the fact
I
that
remember that.
now, just like now, they couldn't call that stuff the Gorillas of Destiny, but everybody knows that they're the Gorillas of Destiny. But
You know who
him,
they are.
if he would have came
Yeah.
in any other name, like only reason Solo Sikoa worked because nobody knew who he was on the Indies because he was still fresh enough that we
Exactly.
give him this entity.
There you go.
Yeah,
And,
then I had
the Street
Dark
Fighter.
Age.
Yeah, it was like, okay, here we go. Like if Zillow Fatu comes,
And he had a brand new look.
he didn't look
the way
the
he
same.
looked on the Indies wasn't how he debuted in NXT.
Right.
He looked
Yeah,
completely
that
different.
is true.
He looked like
Right.
he looked like a baby Uso. He looked like the third Uso. Literally.
He did. That's how he looked. The braids and cut off sleeves. He looked just like his brothers. But then he got to WWE. First of all, he put on weight. He cut his hair, and like you said,
Yep.
he wasn't meant to be, like an Uso. Like he wasn't. It was just casually mentioned because
Street
he first said,
champ.
"Oh, I'm not here to do what they do. I'm here to do my own business.
Mhm.
I'm here to do my
That's
own
a fact.
thing." Man, he was
I'm
in
checking it
fresh
all.
castle with a hoodie on. Like what the heck?
It was
But,
man. Oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh,
Oh no,
go
I
ahead,
was just
go ahead.
saying, just like watching the reactions and sitting on it a while, because like you said, you mentioned earlier, I was sitting here watching, and I've been enjoying, everything that I've been watching with the Bloodline, especially because I know it's been like
Mhm.
that. There's little subtle stuff, and that's what I've been enjoying about Solo, because watching his maturity, watching him become a made man. But then, so I'm sitting there watching the match, and I see. First, I was like, "Wait, did Jimmy come back? And now he's angry? Maybe he was like trying to get back in the family graces." Because again, he was smaller. Like we kind of. And I literally just saw Jacob night one of WrestleMania in Philly. Well, day one, I should say. But seeing him in the ring, I was like, "Yo, he really lost a lot of weight. He looked good." And
He
now,
lost 40 pounds, bro. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
bro, that man motivated me. I'm like, let me throw these carbs away.
But he did it quick. He did it quick.
He did it quick,
Think
bro.
about it.
He did it quick. Like he signed
did.
up that lot.
April,
Said, "I'll just
May,
get to work."
June.
It is no excuse when you see people go to WWE. That's a proof that there's no excuse when they can't get in shape.
CM Punk is jacked.
You have all
I
the
told y'all.
resources right there.
Remember, I pointed out when he had that thing on his arm. I
AJ
said that man
Styles.
is getting
Jacked.
AJ Styles.
Jack,
Randy
man.
Orton.
Mhm.
Randy
Randy
Orton.
Orton, AJ Styles.
Look at
Sheamus
Sheamus.
lost weight in a week. He lost it in a week.
Sheamus definitely
That
dropped
man
all
went
the
from
weight
wearing trunks to his
in like
shorts.
8
He
weeks.
said
We talking about
Right.
1 week.
Sure
He
did.
went. He said, "Yeah, I
we
eat some
talking-
burgers." And
old dogs. We ain't talking about new
Mhm.
dudes. We talking about these older gentlemen.
And man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling
Unreal.
you, this right here.
Angelo Dawkins. Remember, he lost all that weight,
He's still dressed like a teenager.
but that's because
Yeah,
he gained it back.
Yeah, remember
He gained it back. He did. He said, "Oh, I lost it for a
he
purpose."
went
He
to
said, "Never
grandma's
mind."
house and ate a couple of cakes and pies for your eyes.
Bro, I like Dawkins, I do, but
I do too. But man,
yeah. But it's just like, man, like I said, Jacob Fatu being there, he did like Tama Tonga coming in is like, okay, cool. Like you said, everything's cool, but Jacob just adds that effect. And it's funny, I was talking to Amber earlier, and I said, "Yo, get off the dirt sheet." She was like, "Man, I'm just waiting to put him outshot his soul." I'm like, here's the thing about the bloodline. Like Brandon said this earlier, he reminded everybody that Jacob has openly acknowledged Roman as the tribal chief.
Yep.
You see, like, take off the storylines, look at it from a real life perspective.
Mhm.
When we watched that DVD, I mean that
documentary,
that documentary, right?
Yeah.
Roman said it was real, like we eat, and everybody falls in line. You know what I mean? And we're seeing all the stars develop in front of our eyes. And I don't know if y'all saw it was trending. People was counting all the kids that each one of them had.
that thing happened. It was everywhere. First off, what you call it? Rikishi really got 2 more?
Yeah, he has I think he has a daughter and he has one son that doesn't wrestle.
Yeah, Jeremiah, the one that was in the video
Photo.
That was Santa Claus.
Okay, that was the other
from way
brother.
back in the day. Yeah,
that's the one that don't wrestle. Jay said it wasn't him or Jimmy, it was Jeremiah that don't wrestle. He was hitting the road, come home, get back on the road, come home. But it's going to be interesting to see where they go from it, because they got to rehab it. And the key part,
and Roman got 2 sets of twins.
It's Paul Heyman.
Oh,
because that dude, he looked scared. Like y'all brought it up earlier. Take me with you.
When he said that,
you see, he's not in the ring.
Yeah,
he's off to the side because he was scared.
You see him? Yep.
He sold that he did not know about Jacob, and then they said the whole thing, which killed me, is they said Tongalo and Tama Tonga looked at him like, "What is he doing here?" I was like, "Oh, buddy,
bro, see that? I'm not sure they knew he was coming.
Yeah, but
they looked at each other
definitely Paul
like,
Heyman. The Academy Award for Best Actor in a Drama goes to Paul Heyman.
It's definitely
when he said, "I'm a Hall of Famer," I said, "Yep." I said, "Okay, Paul." And he told Punk, he said, "You're my best friend. I mean this." He's like, "But please leave. Please leave."
What if Roman sent Jacob? Like, what if Roman only deals with the Samoans? He didn't call for the Tongans.
Bro, we don't.
Because remember, Paul Heyman said that. Remember, he said these are dangerous people. It's a reason we didn't let them in the bloodline in the first place. These are criminals. These are bad people. It's a reason we didn't let them in the bloodline.
And it's still
remember, he said that.
technically these guys are like independent outlaws because they've
Yep,
been wreaking
yep,
havoc everywhere around the world. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you, the part that tripped me out is if for weeks we've been talking about how dangerous the Tongans are, right? They looked at Jacob Fatu like, bro, they was nervous to see him like, oh, don't get too close. You know how Jacob is.
He'll super kick our head off.
Bro, it was just 2 years ago. We was storyline wise, we was telling Lance to back off. Like, yo, don't call Jacob. You keep this match with you and Jay Bougie 1-on-1. Don't call that man. He's a savage. Like, no. And then like they showing his highlights. He doing all the backs, the moonsaults and stuff. Yo, who gonna stop him?
But remember,
and that was when he was 40 pounds heavier.
Yep, yes. And they said something that they got in front of it. They're very open about his backstory. He said, I was in jail and I saw them wrestle, and that's what got me into wrestling. So now he can't be canceled. They can't say, oh my God, look at Nope. He said that out front. This is when I got into wrestling. And he said it changed his life. So guess what? They ain't got to worry about nothing. Just please let that man be able to go to Money in the Bank.
Meanwhile, Brandon, your favorite TNA champion is still begging. Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Did you guys hear what Mark Henry said about Jacob Fatu?
No.
He's Jacob. He had, I think on Busted Open Radio, he said no. Jacob Fatu was supposed to be in the WWE 10 years ago. He said he was one of my recruits. He said, but because of his personal, they said because of his personal background stuff, they kind of like now they kind of.
Oh, I did hear that. I did hear that. Yeah, I did hear that.
Oh shoot, that sucks. So this is his redemption story.
Kind of.
I appreciate that more because guess what? They probably signed him. They said he probably told him drop some weight because we heard the rumblings of you and Solo. So that's separate because every person got to have their own identity. Because now you see a tag team and two other people. You don't see two sets of tag teams.
He also wanted to get healthy too.
Yeah,
like the weight wasn't healthy for him.
Oh, but see, and so I'm gonna say this, and y'all gonna laugh. With Samoans, their weight, I feel like Solo is healthy. Like that's a Samoan weight.
It's probably for him, but you never know how it's distributed. But Jacob said that wasn't healthy for him.
Oh, okay, because look at, I hate to say this, he gonna laugh. Look at Juicy. That don't look like that's healthy. Juicy do not look like he's healthy, but guess what?
Hey, bro, he can move though.
No, big wrestlers always made me uncomfortable in the ring. Like I never, as a kid, I never liked watching Andre because Andre was older when I was getting his last legs. I was like, he's making me uncomfortable in the ring. And also, we saw Big Viscera wrestling in the ring, and we'd be like, yo, he's not shy. He used to go at it. He used to he was doing huge leg drops. He was making that thing making that ring like it was about to explode. Like he was not shy at all. I mean, he was hitting the ropes. He was making all his spots, big bumps. I was like, oof. Like you get nervous about that kind of stuff. And ultimately, you look at Umaga, you look at Rosie, you look at Yokozuna. I mean, this is something.
Rikishi. Rikishi got bigger.
It's something in your family where it has caused health problems. It's caused 3 of them their lives. Like Umaga had the same issue. He had a heart issue because of his weight. Yokozuna, ultimately his weight got to him, and same thing with Rosie, Roman's brother, his weight. You know what I mean? So I respect the fact that Jacob's like, look, man, there's 300 days on the road. We got to cut this down. And I'm glad he took it serious enough. Well, I don't know who he's working with, but he looks like $1 million. He doesn't look as intimidating, but he still looks dangerous.
It's here, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. And see, that's my point. Like Baron Corbin, if you wear a shirt like that, you look intimidating. When Baron Corbin will take his shirt off, you're like, come on, I can't take you seriously now.
Like, come on, man.
I know you lost a bunch of weight.
You going in on Baron Corbin? That's crazy.
But look at Jacob. He looked like he'll kill somebody. You know what I mean? It's like he looks dangerous right now.
And the Tongans look like he looks dangerous because they looked at each other like, yo, who called Jacob, bro? Like, it wasn't me.
Right.
Because Paul Heyman is nervous. He's like, Paul Heyman's like, we carefully did interviews. We purposely didn't bring certain people in, and now they're all there. They looking at each other sideways, and Solo's in the middle just eating it all up. So last question before we get out of it. What happens when Roman comes back? Because first of all, there's more Samoans coming. There's no in the world you can convince me that I thought it was bad. So now we're gonna go full blown NWO. We did the X. Now we're gonna go full blown NWO. I said, bro, this is getting creepy now. Like Roman reading it went from a faction to a dang near army now. Like, yo, they were bad enough as it is, just the 3 of them. and then the 4 of them came along, and now this, and I'm like, wait a minute.
So I always will say this: the reason
Mhm.
will always prevent it from being full blown NWO is simply for the fact that they're family. And I know that may seem like a cop out answer, but it's when you really look at it, it makes
Mhm.
sense. After a while, the NWO didn't make sense. It was just like pick me, pick me. If you would have had just kept it like just former WWE stars and
Sure.
kept blurring that line, that would
Right.
have made sense. But with the
Oh yeah, that
Anoa'i,
would make sense.
Fatu, Tongans, because we know okay their family and that lineage, it's all going to make sense. So even when you do bring back Roman, you say what happens when Roman comes back? Well, I think personally, and I'm still holding on to this, I don't think it's so cut and dry that Roman and Solo get the beefing right away. I think
No,
it's
I
Roman
don't.
comes back and evaluates the situation and he starts looking at things, and then we start to see slowly but surely Solo start to get above himself. That's the way I see it turning out. And then Roman kind of maybe go back and get, maybe bring back Jimmy first, because in a sense, remember,
Roman face
if you
turn?
go back, not
Yeah.
he's going to be a big baby face. That's coming, right? But I
Yep.
think
Really?
he's definitely
He has to be, especially
but-
now.
yeah, but when he'll bring
Does
back
he?
Jimmy, because go back to last year when
Mhm.
when Jimmy helped Jay. I mean, Jimmy
Okay.
helped him beat Jay, and he said,
Right.
"What do you want? Anything? You got it. You want a yacht?" So since he's indebted to him taking care of him, right? Sounds crazy, but the tribal chief always takes care of him. So I think that eventually, though, because the people want Roman, it's gonna shift him into a baby face. Now,
Okay, fair enough.
I can't pinpoint exactly how, but I think it's like I said, I just think there will be some dissemination, because you think about this. Just think about, all right, I'm gonna make a Power reference, right? In Power Book 2, you got Kane who was running the house. The father gets out of jail, and then Kane is kind of like, no, but I've been the man of the house. That's kind of the dynamic what it is. He been running things while the tribal chief been on vacation. He ain't gonna want to get that power up. He the one dictating where they eat, what they eating. He don't want to give that control up.
I'm gonna tell you why I find this really, really scary. And it goes back to what I said about the NWO reference. First of all, there's a plethora of relatives that are all wrestlers that could come at any point in time. So if Roman really wanted to, he'd be like, okay, cool. Who's next? All right, we're gonna get Solo over. Cool. Get Solo over, send him on his way. Now I'm gonna add some more relatives. That bloodline thing may not ever go away. Just rinse and repeat. Just like,
It may not.
who's next? No,
Who's on it?
Roman's in
Who's
front. Like,
ready?
wait a minute, who? He is he related to us? He's a cousin. Who is he? Okay, so that's Junior's nephew. Okay.
Right.
No, yeah, send him down, and they're like, okay, hey, what's up, man? I'm Joe. We're family. So you're up next. Now we're gonna find you to come in. And like, it's like, there's endless amount of Samoan wrestlers. So it's like, once you get over, okay, cool. Now think about it. Jimmy and Jay got them over. Like, they were over as a tag team. They're huge now. They're single stars. Jay is one of the biggest baby faces. If you'd have told me in a million years he was going to be a big time single star, I'd have said, he'll be a fan.
I said, you're crazy. I was like,
Yeah,
you're
come on,
crazy.
cut it out. Like, no, but guess what though? He's got a whole new, like I said, he's got a whole new, and they're all young people. Like, they're all new faces. So Roman could come back and lead them. Solo could just be his first general. Think about it. So when Roman doesn't do TV every week, you're not gonna look at Solo like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, or who is he? Because he's made it very clear. Listen, when Roman's not around, I'm in charge. But guess what? You talk about Roman leading that group anywhere. Roman doesn't even have to get in the ring for the next month and a half. He's gonna do all pay-per-views, only big fours. He's gonna wrestle 4 times a year. Like, this goddamn bloodline is adding years to his career, because all he gotta do is show up. And he got those 4 guys in tow, and what if he adds 2 more? If the Tongues decide,
Go ahead.
you feel me? Tongues decide, oh, I'm done. We want to go our own path, be our own tag team, be our own men. Grills of Death. Okay, cool. He gonna bring in Hikuleo and somebody else and just replace them. And it's like, oh, Lance is probably up next. So who else? He gonna go to Sambu, Rikishi, like Junior. Who's up next? Are they ready? Oh yeah, bring them in. What about the Tonga twins? Are they ready? Yeah, we'll bring some girls in. Tamina, what you doing? You coming back? All right, come on. Like, it's endless. I'm nervous. What about you, brother?
I missed SmackDown, but I thought I saw a highlight of Solo saying something along the lines of Roman is not coming back. Or
he told Paul Heyman that. He said, I have something to tell you, Paul. Roman's not coming back. Paul Heyman's almost cried. He did cry. He said he's not coming back. Oh.
Since 92, bro, there's always been a Samoan or somebody from the Anoa'i family in WWE.
That is true.
Since 1992. That string, bro. Just think about how crazy that is.
Now it's going to be 8 of them. Not to mention, you still got The Rock coming back.
So that's what I'm saying.
Like what the heck?
And there's only one answer for that. Cody Raheem.
What's the answer, brother? Here,
Cody Raheem.
I was waiting for the reference.
It's Cody Raheem and Roman. They're gonna get together and they're gonna smash everybody.
Y'all gonna be sad when y'all find out Cody's a part of the bloodline. He in the family too.
Bro,
wow.
Yo, he will be pissed off.
Can I add some? Can I add some barbecue sauce to this?
Yeah, go ahead. Go on and sizzle.
I hope so. I hope it got that seasoning in it.
Exhibit A. I almost think Roman's going to be separate because if you notice, since Solo has been in front, they dress totally different. It's subtle things like that because remember, I pointed out the Usos are starting to look like different people. It's little things. They start dressing different. They start wearing different colors. One was wearing red. One was, you know what I mean? One dyed his hair. You know, I said it. They're starting to look different. And as soon as Jay put that,
they still had the same moves though.
Yeah, they're the same person still, but you could visually look at them and say the difference, right? The palm tree on the side. So I think that's an element that we don't think about. They're dressing. They're not dressing like the OG Bloodline because remember they were selling their T-shirts and the Jordans. Now he look like the Great Value Weekend, right?
Whoa, come on. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go. Right. You got to disrespect him now.
But Roman, he has showed visual signs that he is scared of Solo. And remember at WrestleMania, Solo was like, put him away. Put him away. Like, come on, what are you doing? Remember, he was looking at him like, what the
I don't want to.
All right. So, but then to your to your NWO comment, what you think about this? The reason that this will work, other failed factions, the Nexus worked because they all had a common thread of being NXT. They became the Nexus, right? We were something different, something new. They had a common bond together. When it became the new Nexus, it became, what is this? It was just a bunch of random people. Same thing with the NWO. It started off as common bond NWO. And then it was like, all right, now you got black and red. And it was like, all right, so at this point, can anybody just be in the NWO? I think at one point he was a member of the NWO. If you go back and look, he probably was in the stands. Yeah.
I was in there.
So with the bloodline, you was next to Virgil.
To this day, I'm not really sure if Disco Inferno was ever really in the NWO or not. So I don't know. Because
let's bring him to the party.
Pictures a lot. But go ahead.
Yes, but with this, the thing that's going to keep this, I don't want to say evolving or the evolution of it.
All them dang on family they got.
Well, not only that, you got Roman, both Usos, right? Jimmy and Jay. We forgot Sammy as the honorary Us, who technically is still a part of the OG bloodline, if you want to call it that, right?
Man, we got my bloodline.
But we got, like you said, Ava doing things there. Who's to say during the next draft or whatever it may be, she's not her Adam Pearce or what you call it gets switched around.
Right.
Because they're going to CW.
They're about to throw that Thundercats logo in the air.
I mean, think about it. We could see that shift
when they go all pop up.
When they go to USA, Netflix, and CW, we could have a shift of people.
You imagine?
True.
And imagine if Ava is the general manager and Paul Heyman's like, that's what we're doing. Thank you. This was all part of the plan. Remember?
Remember he was on SmackDown giving her that conversation.
That's developmental. Developing her as a GM.
And think about that. So now you got her father come back. Hey, go ahead and make this happen.
That. Brother, I'm gonna tweet that.
I'm just saying
that conversation.
Bro, this is like
so many little elements.
This is like Simone reparations for all those years that that Alpha and Sika drew all that money. They didn't get paid what they were supposed to get paid because of that
race. Absolutely.
And here's the last tidbit about it. With the OG bloodline, Roman came to the ring. They came to Roman's music, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the trio of the Usos and Roman. They had the little graphic with the 3D image, right? They had the tree. Solo comes to the ring. They just come with his music. There is no anything for Solo. He hasn't made it cross that path yet. But remember, when he came out with Tonga, which one was in the crawling across the floor?
Tonga.
Tonga.
he came
Yeah.
out to his own music. How often
Yeah.
did the Bloodline come out to their own music if they were all
None.
together?
Not with
They
Roman.
came out to eggs.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's little wrinkles that he's been, and when I say Triple H has been putting that sprinkle of that dust in there to let us know it's still some wrinkles. They ain't the full-fledged Bloodline because the only person that came out separate was The Rock. Or if The
Right.
Rock was out there first, Roman came out and they stood side by side. In this picture, look who's standing side by side. And who's
But
behind them.
That's true. There's another wrinkle to it though, is because at one point we were like, well, The Rock's too big of a star to work with, take a backseat to Roman. But they literally were like, no, they worked to, even in a proposed match, they said this is a match between family, and there was an excuse to do it. It didn't have to be The Rock. Like we all thought it was The Rock gonna come back and beef with, say, Roman, like, who are you to think you're the tribal chief because you're not The Rock. That's how we were programmed.
My mother is the elder. She sent Solo to save
yeah, like
because you couldn't get the job done.
that's what we thought initially. And he came back and said, oh no, this is tribal combat. No, this is I forgot what he called it, but it was tradition. Like, no, we fight like men, and whoever comes out on top is and it will be honored. And it's a family thing, and this is great for our culture and our family. And then Cody Rhodes had something to say about it. The Rock found it very disrespectful, which you should, because realistically, if somebody insults your culture or your family, you're going to be offended by it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is why The Rock was going off and cussing, like, you know what I feel about my family, and clearly I just showed you this giant tree with all these names on it, so you know the importance of it. You better fix this.
Right,
you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, cool. So you sold us on that. And I was like, there's no way in the world you're going to have The Rock and Roman Reigns side by side. They're two bigger stars. And they were. I'm like, oh, crap.
And it worked.
It was beautiful. Good gosh, did it work. Like when Roman wasn't there, The Rock was running the show. You know what I mean? Because think about it. How many times did The Rock lead the charge for Solo when they jumped Cody Rhodes and made him bleed every 5 minutes? Like The Rock was handing out the orders.
Don't cut the footage. Don't cut the footage. Keep going.
Cut. No, we're not. I don't care. I don't give a F when we say cut. You don't cut till I say cut. I own the company. I said, oh, geez, there you go. He power tripping. And
he coming down and doing the segments when Roman wasn't there.
No, yep. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it don't seem that far away that Roman Reigns will be working with Solo, because he might be grooming him. He might say, Solo, you done a good job. I'm gonna keep giving you responsibilities because this is what a tribal chief's supposed to be doing. You held it down. You took care of business when I was gone. So I'm gonna keep on. Like, Roman could literally do nothing. Now he has to be afraid of them turning on him. It's because if Solo is working with them on a regular basis and they have his loyalty and he has theirs, if Roman gets above himself, which he does sometimes in these matches, they can look at him like, because when you're really feeling, you tell him what to do too much anymore, and then he go like, wait a minute now, we family. Right. I'm the tribal chief, and someone might say, nah, bro, I'm the tribal chief. You know what I mean? Who knows? This
like
is
you said, accountability too, because like Brandon brought up early in the match, Solo was telling him, no, get up, let's put this away, you know. So that's the thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was kind of forceful about it.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. So in other words,
remember when he bumped it to him and he looked a little scared and was like, "Oh, let me just get out this ring."
Yeah. He's like, oh. I didn't mean to bump you. Relax. Right. I was like, oh yeah.
It's WrestleMania. He was like, I got it.
Yeah, because he was like, "Come on, finish him off."
It's Jay's fault. It's Jay's fault. Roman not champion right now. He went against the family. How dare he?
But where is Jimmy? When do we bring Jimmy back into this?
He's chilling.
Okay.
I don't know when. But
Jimmy doesn't know where he fits in. Remember, he got booted out. They like, bro, you're not doing it. I said, I love you, and they took him out.
He lost at WrestleMania. He was a part of the loss. Yeah,
he took the fall for everybody. So like, you know, it's like the bloodline got to change. Something got to give. Jimmy, it's you. In other words,
I was born.
And what happens to that feud, Jimmy and Jay?
Well, that's gone.
That's what I'm saying. We definitely thought we was gonna get that whole maybe three matches or whatever.
Yeah, back on Money in the Bank when he bought the Jay about to grab the briefcase.
Oh, I hope not. What if he comes back and helps him win it? Brother, you're all I got. You're all I got.
That's his whole thing. He won't let him get a title without him. He said you can't win with him.
Yeah, that was his whole thing.
Maybe that's his
I'm saying he comes back. Yeah, I'm saying that's for him to come back, and I'm going to help you win.
He helps Jay win.
Helps him win the money because it's Yeet in the bank. He on the cover, ain't he? Y'all see that?
Yeah, that's
Got
why
him,
not
got
winning.
second.
When you look at
I
his
was
opponent,
trying not to think that way. I was like, but look at them qualifying matches. Triple H was throwing some curveballs at us because the people ain't even getting no entrance. Well, we didn't get to see it on TV, and they won. I was like, wait a minute,
come back
because
from
I
commercial
automatically
break, they
said
already in the
Andrade.
ring.
Yeah, I said Andrade ain't winning because he ain't got no entrance. Oh, he won. I was like, oh, okay. Give us Andrade in the ladder match.
He
Let's see.
told, what did he say? Be patient. That's what they kept saying with Andrade. And I could tell when
Starting to find
when
his
he was
footing.
and WrestleMania, I said, oh, he gonna be one of them post WrestleMania projects.
We just got to get through Mania. We got you.
Yeah, he the dashboard champion. You know what I'm saying?
He
They act like they ain't hear you. And he said it with a straight face. All right.
that was perfect.
Can't wait till that belt hits the stores. Yeah, is it online yet?
Right there
No.
on brother, he gonna have that joint across the top.
This is the dashboard champion. You got to keep that in your car.
I want to push the start as the property plate. That's what
Bro,
it made.
what?
Right.
Can you imagine the property plate being a push to start?
A push to start, but that'll be dope though.
A circle with WWE logo. I'll be like, there's the push to start.
Rome MVP. I like this comment. Sammy Uso needs to return. I see Solo being turned on and running back to Roman. Jacob takes over and they add Tall Tonga brother.
Tall.
He said tall.
The tall one. The big one.
That might be the joke. That's why they call him Talatunga. Like, oh, because he's tall.
Right.
Oh, son of
But
a
he's the
bitch.
youngest out of them, isn't he?
Yeah.
the
He's
baby.
the youngest of this. Yeah, he's the youngest of all.
Yeah.
That's Hikuleu, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
He's a Hickler. But he's the youngest out of all.
Because
That's crazy.
technically, Tama is the cousin, but he was adopted by Haku because that was his nephew. He raised him. So like
Absolutely.
they
That's
all
what I
grew up
heard.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they all recognize him as his son.
His dad.
let me
Yeah,
ask-
like you won't hear him call him anything else.
Let me ask you
And did-
about Hikuleu. Is he where's the star level? Where does he fall under as far as the Girls of Destiny? Like is he big enough where they won't change his name or he not that big?
Nah, he ain't that big.
No, he
Okay.
wasn't that big.
I think they'll
Like,
change his name to fit in with them.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was.
It'll
he
probably
was
be
fresh.
something similar.
I
he's-
thought so,
yeah.
but because I know I didn't hear that much about him. Like I've always heard about Tama Tonga and Tonga
He's
Loa,
fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you
he's
could
been
change his
wrestling
name
for
and
a
it wouldn't
little
be bad.
bit. Yeah,
They
but
would put him over in the
yeah,
commentary.
but-
Oh my God, that's the younger brother of another Tongan. Oh my
No,
God.
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, people don't realize how close The Rock and Haku are. Like Haku, first of all, Haku gave him his first wrestling gear.
Yeah.
Like of course, you go back and watch Young Rock, which I hope I'm
Oh
not
my
sure.
God, Netflix has to bring it back.
I would hope that they would revive it. You know what I mean?
Netflix has got to bring it back. Please,
And,
Netflix.
But he has a whole episode dedicated to Haku. He's like, no, he gave him his first wrestling boots. He's like, my uncle Haku. Like Rocky Johnson was really close to Haku. Haku was really close to the Wild One. Like they're all in this. Like that's not no joke. Like they're legit family. And I remember a couple of years ago when The Rock had bought Haku a brand new pickup truck. He was like, I had to give my favorite uncle a new truck. He was down the dumps and he's like, but I'll never not, because he did the same thing for his dad. Not either before that, not too long after that. But he was. Haku he was so blown away by it, and this was like when the Gorillas of Destiny was like when people fantasy booking Gorillas of Destiny and the Usos, and I remember they were they going back and forth
with the face
Twitter,
paint. That was because didn't they both have the face paint at the time?
That's exactly what it was. Yep, I remember that. Yep, that's exactly. I was literally as I was saying it, you said it, I was thinking the same thing, and I remember it was like, and I remember Usos had said something like something, cuz, and that's when Tama Tonga replied, like, yeah, what up, Us, or whatever the case may be, but. People have no idea. Like The Rock is really there. Like he's like that board is not like no thing. Like I'm doing it part time. Like he really is the reason why he got exclusive rights to his name, so he can be The Rock all the time. He don't got to consult with nobody. Is the reason why he's doing Ric Flair's life story. His biography is he gonna have all the licenses and logos and stuff, permission to do certain stuff.
Him and his baby mama.
And there's a reason why the freaking Tongans are there and all of them. Like because when I say Haku is close to his uncle is how close to his nephew The Rock, that's family for real. Like it's not no joke. So what I'm hearing is,
wait a minute,
quite honestly,
isn't that Danny is what you call his mother, right? Ava's mother.
Yeah,
that's crazy. It's that much. Oh, he made sure everybody's in the business.
That's what I'm saying. And like mind you, Danny is still The Rock's manager and business partner.
That's
right. The league, one of the league that he owned.
And the drink, right? Isn't she with the drink with him?
I think so.
She got to handle all his business. They still work hand in hand with each other. Like they like brother Hugh said, Danny is still his best friend, closest confidant outside of his woman, but all package deal. You know what I mean? And all I'm hearing is to be continued. Like I said, it's like Samoan revolution out here in the streets.
Right.
They gonna get everything they've ever been owed, because I don't care if nobody said. Everyone, the ethnic acts of the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s have always drawn money, and I've heard the wrestlers out their mouths say that. And of course, they weren't treated the same way as their white counterparts due to society and the culture during those times. You never not heard about JYD drawing big money. You never not heard about the Wild Samoans, huge acts, and I know they were not. Like, we used to always joke with Roman, like Vince probably never liked how they were treated as he was coming up, so he made sure that Roman was going to be the guy, whether we liked it or not. And now they're running the industry.
Hey, got
Roman was low
time.
We used to joke about the Samoans. We knew one or two were going to get in. They had to be really good, though. Now it's an open door. I know.
And if the Tonga twins come,
right? Like, remember we saw them years ago. Say, oh snap, they got some Samoan Bellas. I said they got some like, Tonga twins.
He said Samoan Bellas.
That's what I thought. Because I said, dude, they look like the Bella twins was still there. That's how old that. You know that picture of you see Sifa, you see Solo when he had looked the Usos. You see Tonga Kid. You see Rikishi, and you see the Tonga twins, and you see Jacob, and you see. I mean, I think Lance is in that photo.
Lance is there, and Tonga Kid is in there. Jacob's dad.
Tonga Kid is. So it's like, yo, I don't think his dad is. I don't think Samu's in it, but it just at the time that was the Samoan dynasty, the WXC, WXW, C4 crew. So I was like, yo, this. So I was like, yo, this is that's a lot of them. But now it's like, oh no, we really could all show up now. Like, it's on,
and they treat us good. I know Reverend Ron Hunt went through the WXW C4. He came through that academy.
That's news to me. Had no idea.
Yeah. When he posted, he talked about it.
So like I said, what I'm hearing is, as we wrap this up, is to be continued.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
I have no idea where this is going, and I'm excited about that. We got Uncle Howdy, we got the Wyatt Sick6. I don't even know. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm laughing as I say it. I'm not even going to pretend like I even know what's going on right now. I just know that it's really, really entertaining, and I'm just like, yo, this is insane.
They own Mondays and Fridays under the Seth and Roman umbrella, like at one point in time, but not like this. Like right now, they have both of those nights. Like this is the best. You can make an argument about which show you like is better and have a good argument.
Yeah,
but you can watch the full show. You don't have to fast forward. You don't. If you go in the bathroom break, you be like, "What did I just miss?"
Yeah, you got Chad Gable asking for forgiveness. You got Liv doing, looking good as hell, and Zelina Vega said, "Nah, hold up, you ain't gonna forget. You still champ, and I want that belt." It's so much going on. Then on SmackDown, you got Bayley.
Right?
You got Bayley doing her thing. You got you got Logan Paul showing up doing whatever. Man, wrestling is in good hands.
LA Knight going to his house, getting in his pool,
bro.
That was hilarious.
You got Cody Rhodes. There's so much going on. You like, yo, I can't even, because Liv Morgan is tripping. Judgment Day still being Judgment Day. Carlito did it again.
That's cool.
Because they ran it back. You see how he ran it back again? They keep saying, Carlito. Oh, no, it's not cool. It's not cool. Like that. I was okay with Damian Priest being out the group, but I'm like, okay, now you're growing on me because you're starting to fit into the way this looks. The Judgment Day is really, it's crazy because they evolved like 3 times. Like they were very dark at one point.
Yeah.
And then they were very serious, and then they were very dominant, and now they're very entertaining. And I'm like, yo, this is how you keep a group alive without having to jump the shark.
They had Edge get Rhea Ripley's haircut. Remember? That was the first incarnation. He said, give me the Rhea Ripley. He went to the barbershop and got the Rhea Ripley cut. Make it blonde.
You said the Rhea Ripley haircut. Nah, it was a lot going on. We have Money in the Bank.
And not to mention they champions now. You forgot to mention that.
2 tag team champions. Yep, you got Finn Balor, you got JD McDonough. I love how JD McDonough fits into this group. At first, I was like, "Was he? How does he fit in?"
Big
But
ass head.
they kill
The
him every
walking
week.
Funko Pop.
I'm
The
glad.
walking Funko Pop.
I'm glad they embrace the fact, like you said, brother Brandon. They don't insult our intelligence. They kind of take what we kind of know to be funny and they kind of run with it. And I'm like, this is what makes it cool a little bit. You know what I mean? And then like it was a very smooth way to transition Chad Gable from Alpha Academy. Chad Gable's making stars now. That's why he got that fat contract. Because Chad Gable was the guy, was the workhorse at one point. He was in 5 different tag teams, taking all the bumps, doing this thing. He saved Jason Jordan's career before he broke his neck. And then he did what he did for the Alpha Academy. The Alpha Academy is so over now, they can stand on their own. You can have Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine, and they're fan favorites. Like they don't got to be hounded card. They're gonna have their space though. You know what I mean? They can like Otis is coming to his own. And then Chad, like you said, Chad Gable looking for repentance. I'm sorry. They're like, Chad, we appreciate you. We're glad you're okay. We're done. Who comes out the woodworks? The freaking Creed brothers. The Diamond Mine shows up. The Creed brothers and what's her name?
Ivy now.
Ivy
I
now.
like her a lot too.
I call her Beth Phoenix Jr.
Mini Beth.
I was like, bro, the freaking Diamond Mine came out. I said, yo, this is what I'm talking about. And so like, first of all, they're young, they're hungry, they come from they're cut from the same cloth. He rolls around the ring with them, and when I mean roll around, like he works out with them before. We've seen it before. We've seen him do interviews with him rolling. They call it rolling in the ring. Before things got started. So now we're transitioning to getting them involved in stuff, and they have person now they can be associated with Chad Gable because we don't even know what the heck he did to Bray Wyatt or anybody in the Wyatt Six, but he's the first. I'm sure he's not going to be the last. This is ridiculous. Wrestling should not be this entertaining at this point in our lives. But guess what, gentlemen? We are here, and we are glad that you have been here with us along this road. We've been here long enough. I apologize once again for the technical difficulties. Please follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Also, subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at The Wrestling Realm, youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm, as well as Championship Culture. What are you pointing to?
No, subscribe down low.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
That's what my daughter used to do. She was like,
subscribe down low.
3 or 4. Subscribe down low.
Wow. Check out Championship Culture every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Also follow him on Instagram at Championship Culture _. Did I get that correct, brother? Hugh?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So
he didn't say the thing.
What's the thing, brother Brandon?
After you said Championship Culture _, he didn't say the thing.
What was that?
You didn't say it. You're not gonna do the thing.
I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna do it here.
I don't know what the thing is.
Okay, he's not gonna do it. Sorry,
brother Brandon. Well, that means you have to do it, then, brother Brandon.
Everybody has a story.
There it is. Join us next time, ladies and gentlemen. We got Money in the Bank coming up. So much more. We appreciate you. We gotta get out of here. Peace. It's time for Rum After the Dark. Here we go.
Houston, we have a problem.
We really skipped Forbidden Door.